Hello, everyone. Welcome to Secrets of Saltmarsh. This is our Patreon Greyhawk 5th edition D&D campaign featuring all of these lovely, beautiful people who support our community. Thank you so much, Patreons. If you want to see what you can get and what all of your contributions can do for the community as a Patreon member, you can check out that link there in the chat. We're going to go ahead and start off by saying thank you so much for being here. There are a couple of different ways that you can interact with this game. You can submit your chat points to submit a blessing, which is an advantage die or a reroll to the player of your choice, including myself. You can submit $10 for a draw from the deck of many. This is going to be the first time we're using the revised deck of many here, so you're going to find that some of our previous draws and things are a little different. Hello, welcome Raiders. I'll get to you in just 1 second. So every $10 guarantees a draw from the deck of many things to the player of your choice. It can be heartbreaking, it can be really funny, it can be very wild. All of this goes to supporting the community. If you want to check out any previous episodes of Secrets of Saltmarsh, you can head over to our YouTube and find all of them there. And we're going to go ahead and start off by reintroducing everyone. Please tell me who you are. Tell me about your characters. And I just want to say, Bikaki, thank you so much for the raid. Hope everyone had a wonderful time, and please make yourselves comfortable. We'll start off with Emma. Please tell me who you are.
Hi, it's me, Emma, also known as Emma Panada. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at Emma Panada. On Twitch, I run various TTRPG games, or produce a TTRPG games, I guess you could say, even though I'm a player in the one that I don't GM. And then on Twitter, I just mainly shitpost. So if you want to see me shitpost, you can go there. I play Arlen Ruvaloth. She is a Triton cleric warlock that's going through some hard times and potentially some changes soon. So we'll see what happens. But that's me.
Yeah. What kind of situation are you in? Who or what is responsible for all of this?
Well, at the end of last session, I was talking about how excited I was to kind of play opposite pole because they're both two very different charismatic people and influences on the party. And then Stella was like, "Oh, Pole, why don't I give you this card?" And it was like a Fates card or something where he got to change an event that has happened in the past. Mm-hmm. And the event he changed was whatever made Arlen a bit mean and chaotic. So me and Stella have talked about what that will look like for my character and how we want to play that out over time. And I'm interested to see how it comes about.
Yes. I feel like there are no good things that happen when there are cursed swords involved. So we'll see how it pans out. Thank you so much. Next, we have GeekDice.
Hi, folks. I'm GeekDice. You can find me here any given Wednesday when we're not playing Secrets of Saltmarsh. We also have another game. We're playing a Witch Slide game on opposing Wednesdays, another Patreon game. Lots of fun. Once again, today I'm playing KayBee. He is a very old and very small little artificer and wizard, escaped from a retirement home. He is seeking adventure. He thinks he's found it. He's following this group of misfits or heroes. And today he's starting the adventure by falling off a pirate ship into the water. Glub, glub, glub.
Yes. Yep. And GeekDice, you are starting off with a blessing from Emma. Thank you, Emma, for that.
Thank you.
So you may utilize that reroll whenever you please. GodfatherWraith, unfortunately, is unable to play with us today, but they will be back here for our next session. Next, we have Endy.
Hello, I'm John, called Endicarus on the web. You can find me on Twitter and Facebook and all sorts of other places, but mostly on Discord, chatting in places like Greyhawk online and Lord Gosumba's channels. A lot interested in Greyhawk stuff, and here we are playing Greyhawk, so it's super great. I'm playing Pole of Ammonfort, who is a warlock, but his patron, instead of being a massive tentacled, frightening thing from the outer realms, is one of the hero gods of Greyhawk. And so in fact, it's a very peaceful god, and he follows that kind of ethos of Heward, the one with the haversack, who is sort of a bard in a famous party of old that included the nefarious Zagig. He likes to find non-violent solutions to problems. In our last episode, we had a lot of violence, and so he had a little bit of a hard time with it and is feeling a little bit anxious about the whole situation. And as we saw, it played out a little bit strangely when I got that card and played it on Arlen. So we're all excited about seeing how that turns out.
Excellent. Thank you. And next we have Zombie.
Hello, I am Jacob, I'm Zombie, I am Z, and whatever you'd like to call me out of those names. I am the lore keeper, clip master. I probably do too many clips, but that's up to your own discretion. Today I play Finn Carson, who is sort of running his own path. He's a ranger. He's been researching the undead and zombies and that for a while. During the last session, I feel like he grew a little bit. Because he thought that dragons were cool, and if you ever met a dragon, he'd like to talk to dragons. He took up Draconic. Draconic happened to be the same language that these lizard people that we randomly found in here speak. And he was able to diffuse the situation a little bit. Even though Arlen tried to escalate the situation, he still kept trying to keep everything level-headed. And they are currently still on the ship, but leaving the ship soon, sort of more in a more peaceful manner with everybody. As for me personally, you can find me on Twitter at ZombieFighter89, maybe Twitch at some point down the road. I got this new fancy computer now, so I don't know if I look any better camera-wise, but everything's smooth running over here. It's fantastic. You can catch me Mondays, 8 p.m. Eastern on youtube.com/NiceNirvana, where me and Matthew and Kayla all talk nerdy news and such. And it's really, really fun time. Speaking of Matthew and GeekDice, you can see all three of us on the other Wednesday when we play our Witchlight campaign, which is really, really fun. And I'm just lucky to be able to be here every Wednesday, and I appreciate it.
I appreciate you. Yeah, the Witchlight game is a very different vibe from this one. Let's just say that. So we are going to start off where we finished last session. I'm going to go ahead and drag you all back to the map. You are all here on the boat in the middle of the water. So you are currently aboard the Sea Ghost, and you have more or less diffused a situation with the lizard folk here. I believe they have left the ship, and they've taken with them the weapons of war that were stashed away here. But we do have a few different people here. We have the individuals that are still hogtied and gagged underneath this small boat on the deck. We have Oceanus, who is a curious person that was imprisoned on this ship, hidden away behind one of the walls. And you have with you one of the city guard who has, in a way, put themselves in the service of Arlen, Imloth. I'm just going to type that out here, because it's been a while since we last played. But before we get started, Finn, please tell me when to stop. GodfatherWraith, thank you so much for the draw from the deck of many.
I wished you happiness, Godfather. Why would you do this to me?
I mean, listen, this is the revised deck of many things.
True.
So...
Oh, I could get a card we've not used yet.
Exactly.
All right, I'll forgive you, Godfather. Stop.
Okay. Very good. All right. So you are more or less scattered here on the ship, and there are a number of rooms that you have not yet explored. What would you like to do?
I think Arlen was heading into back here, but did anybody notice KayBee fall off the ship? Because that seems kind of important.
Right. Let's start our story there.
Yeah.
So KayBee, you were on the main deck of the ship here, And as you were kind of looking around and scrounging about the main deck, your foot got caught in a rope, in a coil here. And as you tried to detangle yourself, a failure of dexterity has thrown you off the ship. What would you like to say as you go tumbling into the water?
Yeah, and I think I was looking at the parrot. Oh, what a pretty bird. Wow. Wow. Whoop.
So I'm going to say that Finn and Arlen, you are both definitely close enough to hear this yelp.
KayBee! And he runs to he yells that as loud as he can, so anyone else around can also hear that. And he'll go to like grab the rope and try to pull up KayBee.
So the KayBee is free from the rope. The rope's not attached to them.
Okay, well then he'll yell at KayBee. Oh, hold on, I'll try and find something.
Arlen will just jump in the water.
Okay.
Or Arlen, go.
Oh yeah, we see Finn kind
yeah.
of watching Arlen arc through the sky and splash into the water there. As a Triton, yeah, you can do whatever you want here. What do you want to do?
Arlen will just kind of grab KayBee as she kind of like gets up from under the water, having just dived in. And I know she climbed up this side before, but the others seem to have had a ladder on the other side that was sent down to them.
Yes.
So she'll call up, just get the ladder down. I'll go to the other side. And she'll head that way.
All right.
Do you want to swim around the boat or under the boat?
Under the boat.
Oh no.
KayBee, how do you react to all of this?
So I think KayBee is a little bit surprised. When Arlen swims up to KayBee, KayBee is in a state of paralysis. His limbs are, his four little limbs are out, and he's kind of doing a starfish spiral. Big eyes and just a stream of bubbles coming out. And he sees Arlen, and he tries to talk. Is all he gets. Just this moan to scream is all that she hears.
You'll be fine. Don't worry.
Okay. So we see Finn kind of scramble over to the other side. Imloth will hear what's going on and assist. So as the rope gets thrown overboard, you are able to climb up.
So I think KayBee is still kind of like in a state of shock.
Valid.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and say that you are both back on the main deck here.
Yeah, I think Arlen probably had to hoist him, maybe tuck him under an arm or something as she climbed up. And as soon as he lands on the deck, he lays out. He's probably coughing up water.
All right, you're fine. Don't worry.
Oh my God!
You'll get all that out soon enough.
I can't believe that you saved me again. I don't know.
What an adventure does.
This is kind of humiliating. But I think it was meant to be. I drop my sword. I go down to one knee. I hold my sword up. Arlen, I think I'm going to have a great debt to you. Please accept me as your follower.
Oh, you don't have to put it. I'll mentor you, yeah, but you don't.
That would be wonderful.
You could say apprentice or ask me to be your teacher, but follower is a bit culty.
That's true.
I'm holding that sword like this, kind of like.
But am I supposed to pick this up?
Yeah, I think you got to take it.
Oh, okay. And I'll kind of pick up the sword, and I'll do a little knighting thing and stab him on each shoulder with the sword. And I
turn. Who else is on the deck?
I'm gonna say that since Garen's not here and I don't feel comfortable role-playing people's characters, that his primary focus and job here is just going to be to mind the two prisoners, and he is present just kind of in the background for this entire session.
Okay, I look over to him and I wink. I wink at Garen. It's like this knowing wink. And I stand up after I've been knighting and I say, yes, I accept. Ah, I feel so much better now.
All right. Well, I'm
Oh.
glad to hear it. Here, have your sword back.
Oh, thank you very much.
So KayBee.
Yes.
Then now you have a classmate.
Oh, yes, a classmate. Yes.
Nice. So Oceanus here seems to be doing a little better now that the lizard folk have kind of left, and it's more or less only the group of you left on the ship. They are currently... They have surrendered Pole's cloak and given it back to Pole, because I believe you drawed the ruin card.
Yeah.
So you do not currently have any possessions. Oceanus will kind of gesture towards the stairs and motions you to follow.
All right. Maybe we can find some pirate clothes for me to wear.
He nods emphatically, and he will lead you into this room down here, and begin like pulling drawers open and scrounging around for different possessions. So more or less, you have access to all of the drawers here in the lower level. What kind of clothes? We'll just say that you conveniently can. We kind of like enter a character creation mode here, where you can decide what you want to pick. What does Pole wear now?
Well, I think he's probably got over his shock at the blood and violence, and is remembering again his swashbuckling attempt at swinging on ropes and stuff. So he's gonna try and dress like a swashbuckling pirate. Like if he can find some tight black pants and a white puffy shirt, that's what he's gonna go for.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a hat. Oh, a hat for sure.
Gotta have the hat.
There will be no hat down here, but you do remember the violence on the upper deck where there is a captain and a first mate. So there are a variety of hats to choose from.
All right. But yeah, he will take any leather pieces off of any of them and use some string to tie things together because he doesn't like to wear it.
Okay. So as you're in this room with Oceanus, you do find a couple of different interesting things that are not clothes. You see that there are 2 books. There's a book called Principles of Navigation by Da Korma, which is currently open on a table near you. And then there is another book that's closed that says Legal Distinctions in Letters of Marque by Tazar. That one's closed.
Well, he'll take a look at them. He suspects that there might be someone who's more interested in these books than he is in the group. So he might go upstairs and ask, "Hey, I found some interesting books that some of you might want to take a look at. There's one about letters of marque and another one. What was the other one?
The other one is Principles of Navigation.
About navigation.
Oh.
And that one's open, so maybe they were looking at it. Maybe it's a clue about something."
Well, they probably were trying to figure out where they were going.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Shouldn't they already be experts at that kind of stuff?
You never know.
Well, what I've found is a lot of times people who are experts of a thing have books about it.
You know, I guess they're experts for a reason.
True.
Letters of marque. Can I see that?
Oh, I left it downstairs.
Oh, okay. I'll go check that out.
It's on this desk. I'll go with him.
Okay, sure. So the 2 of you head back down. Arlen and Finn, what would you like to do?
Arlen's gonna check out in here.
Okay.
Kind of resume what she was doing before KayBee fell in the water.
Okay. So that room. All right. So you open up this door. It is not locked. Where's the tool? Open, reveal area. Okay. You find that there is a small bedroom here. You see that there seems to be a crude stove here. It has an adjustable metal chimney that is placed through a vent hole, which seems to lead out of the ship. Next to it is a stove containing little bits of wood, kindling, a little table, and there's a table. There's a number of different crisscrossed score marks on it. There's a large drawer in this particular table.
Can I check the drawer?
Yeah. As you do, you find that the drawer has a number of different butcher's knives, saws, and choppers in it.
Okay. Not sure what to do with that. I think she closes the drawer again. Looking around, is there anything else she takes particular interest in, or not really?
You see that there is another door on the other side.
Yeah, she's gonna check that.
Okay. You open it. And as you do, you see that it opens up into... Oh. Hide. Okay. It opens up into another room where there's a door that's already open. This seems to be the storeroom for this level of the ship. You can see that in the particular room that you're in, you see from iron hooks set into the ceiling, there are 3 long strips of sausages, a large ham, and hunk of meat. Against the hull are 3 sacks. Set against the bulkhead beside the door are a cask and a ceramic jar. Against the bulkhead are a set of large and small casks and another jar. There's an opening in the latter bulkhead about 3 feet square on the lower edge and 3 feet above the deck. It's mostly meat in here.
Okay, then I'm gonna kind of rifle through things on the way, just to make sure there's nothing like interesting hiding around, but not too much. But then we'll check this other side as well.
Okay, yeah, you can see that a lot of the meat that you're passing by is salted. There are dried beans in the sacks. Some of them have flour, salt, and there's a cask with ale in it. You see that the jars, as you kind of poke through them, have honey and olive oil. They are all very fresh, but none of it is particularly appetizing or remarkable in any way. As you kind of look...
Never frozen.
Yep. So as you kind of head into the open door, you see that there are 2 coiled lengths of rope and 3 rolls of sailcloth against a large box here. There's a wooden cask that stands next to it, 6 lengths of wooden planking. Set into a wooden rack fastened by the bulkhead to the door are 2 metal-headed hammers, 2 wooden mallets, 2 saws, and an adze. I don't know what that is, but this is how you spell that. There's an opening about 3 feet square, and it has a lower edge about 7 feet above the deck and another in the bulkhead.
Okay, you said there was a chest?
Yeah, so as you open the box, it's not locked. You see it's full of copper nails. And you see that the cask nearby is full of hard, dried tar.
Got it.
You kind of see that these are probably repairing supplies.
Yeah. All right, well, Arlen will kind of keep poking around in here and maybe in the lizard folks room as well. But I don't imagine there's much else. But I'll throw things over to Finn.
Okay. If you do search the lizard folks room, you do find that there is a small jug of wine on the table, and it seems that it is probably very valuable. It is a vintage and make that you don't recognize, but it is a fine bottle.
All right, I will grab that then.
Okay. Just for the sake of not having to make me remember it, the jug is worth 25 gold.
Okay, I will put it in the loot log.
Okay. There's also another chest here, and it seems to be locked.
I know Garen. We're not role playing Garen, but seeing that he's our lock picking guy,
Mm-hmm.
is there a way I could get him to check this out?
Yeah, absolutely. So Garen will help you with that. And in the meanwhile, Finn, what would you like to do?
Well, Finn will kind of look around the deck, and he'll kind of notice that everywhere's been sort of checked. He sees Arlen walking the door to that area, and he's like, "There's the one door left here. May as well check out what's behind here."
Okay, yeah, absolutely. You open it, and you find stairs down.
Oh, okay.
And it brings you to the mess hall below. Yeah.
Oh, actually, this would actually be perfect. Because I think we ended the episode, or one of the endings of the episode was me with the dragon and it hugged my face in this area.
That's
So
right.
we could say maybe this was leading up to that.
That's
And then
right.
I'm sort of raffling through there, and then the dragon hugs my face.
Okay, yeah. So as you're down there in the crew quarters, you find there is a chest nearby.
Oh.
The way that it's positioned, it's under one of these like hammocks. It's probably personal possessions of a former pirate.
Ah, yes, of course. Finn will sort of look at it, and he'll go, "Well, I don't know. I'm not gonna go bug Garen." And he'll just sort of try to open it and unlock it himself.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me Thieves Tools if you've got them. If you don't have them, give me a sleight of hand.
No, stop. There we go.
Oh, wow. Nat 20. Very good. Okay. Yeah. So you find that there are actually a set of Thieves Tools nearby because these are pirates and
Ooh.
they would have that sort of thing. And you manage to kind of stick it in and you just wiggle it around a bit. The lock does seem to be quite old, so you manage to pry it open, no problem. And inside of this particular chest, you find a pack of well-used greasy playing cards,
Ooh.
two sets of dice. One of them is a little
Oh.
heavier than the other. And there's a
Ah.
book called Grog Hovels, which describes taverns and inns along the coastline suitable for patronage by a pirate.
Oh, this will be interesting. Be an interesting read. And then after he'll set down the deck of cards at the table, and he'll take his shirt and kind of like wipe a little bit. It's greasy. And yeah, he'll sort of kind of collect everything, and he'll put it in his backpack for now, and then he'll go I guess he'll go searching for the others, I guess, because I know that he noticed that KayBee came down this way at some point, so he might go to try and find KayBee.
Okay.
Is the dragon following me at all?
So as you're kind of like looking through these things, as you're opening this chest up, you just hear like a prr, prr, and you're looking over and you see this tiny little pseudo dragon. It's just sort of curiously watching you, sniffing your fingers, clawing at the box. And as you take things out, it kind of bristles and backs up a little bit. But it seems to follow you. Yeah, as you're getting ready to leave, it hops up your arm and kind of nestles on your shoulder and your neck.
Hey, buddy. You want to join along with us? You can. And then he'll walk this way, knowing that KayBee was somewhere around here.
Okay. So like before you head over, so
Yeah.
KayBee and Pole, you are in this room here. You descend and you are presented the two books that Pole had mentioned.
Legal distinctions and letters of marque. You know, that sounds like something for like customs and taxation. Something perfect for a smuggler. You know what I mean? It would
Oh
seem-
yeah, that makes sense.
You know, they'd be trying to break the rules and stuff. Flip open the book and see what I can assess. See if I can connect the dots. If there's symbols like are on some of the packages, maybe it's something that's come to evidence.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me investigation here.
Alrighty, we'll try some investigations.
All right, with a
25.
25. So you do find that there are no notes scribbled in here. So you don't really have context. As you kind of look around, you do see that this room is a little bit on the nicer side. It has an actual bed in here instead of a hammock. So this probably is one of the cabins that belongs to someone who's a little further up the pecking order among the pirates. It's definitely not the captain's room, but it's someone important. And as you're kind of looking around, you do actually find that there is a chest underneath one of the furnishings in here.
Check this out. Somebody left some. Bet you there's some pirate treasure in here. It was kind of hidden.
It's called booty, right?
I like booty. Help me pull this thing out.
All right.
Take a look and see if it has got a lock on it.
It does have a lock. This particular box seems to be made out of brass.
Okay, I reach to the tool belt and I yank out my Thieves Tools, and
Okay.
I go to town on the lock.
Yeah, do it.
And it's
Oh,
god,
that's a nat 1, a 6.
You go to No Town.
This must be a foreign lock. You know, maybe from Greyhawk.
You do
or
have a
someplace.
blessing if you want to use it.
I call upon the powers of the Fey gods. Yeah.
21. Okay. I was gonna say, with a nat 1 there, you might make it impossible to open ever. Okay, with a 21, you absolutely spring it open. You find inside that there are 500 silver pieces.
Oh. You have some pockets?
These pants are too tight. I don't think I could put anything in the pockets.
Okay, I'll carry it. I'll carry
Okay.
it. You and I can split it later.
Shouldn't we split it with everyone?
Okay, I guess we can split it with everyone.
I mean, well, if they find something, are they going to split it with us?
No, I don't think so.
Really? What? All right. Well, okay. We'll split it then. That's the way we do it.
Yeah, pirate's life for me.
What about this other book? It's got maybe it's something. It tells us
It
where
could-
they were going.
I guess we could take a look. I think
Principles of navigation. I don't know.
yeah, that's kind of a geeky book. Yeah, we'll take it with. I'll look at it. Maybe Arlen knows something about navigation.
Maybe people would buy this book.
That's true.
All right. I'll take them both.
Okay. Very good. And you are pretty confident that there's nothing else of interest in this particular room. And I'll say that as the two of you are kind of heading out of the room is the same time that you bump into Finn.
Oh, did you find anything interesting in there? Because I found some interesting stuff in there. There was a hidden chest under a hammock-looking thing. Probably wasn't too good to lay on.
Yeah, we found a hidden chest too. 500 silver pieces. Don't tell anybody, okay?
Okay.
What was in yours?
As the two of you are like coming up together, you do see kind of curled up by him on his neck is a very tiny little dragon.
Whoa! Where'd you get the Pseudo Dragon?
That's so
Oh,
cool.
the Pseudo Dragon. It was with the lizard folk.
Oh, what's its name?
What is your name, buddy? I actually don't know the name of it. The little buddy. He just came up and hugged me, so I think it likes me. Do you have a name?
As you
And I'll speak Draconic to it.
As you speak Draconic to it, you see it turning its head and it begins to communicate with you telepathically.
Oh.
A different series of sounds and noises. It doesn't mean anything to you, but you hear the noise bims? Bims?
Bims. I keep hearing the word it's talking to me telepathically. I keep hearing the word bims.
So
So
you're pretty sure it can't talk to you. It doesn't talk to you or in the sense of language, but it is just making a noise at you.
Okay. All I keep hearing is a noise bims in my head from it. So I'm just gonna call it Bims unless it argues with me.
That sounds good. Hi, Bims. I'll move my hand close to it and see if he tries to bite me or if he lets me get close.
You see his eyes go wide and he kind of retreats into Finn's hair. And you see it, the little stinger tail kind of come up and just shakes a little bit.
All right, that's okay, Bims. I'm not gonna touch you.
As you kind of begin to back away, the tail comes down and the head begins to come back out and looks curiously at you.
That's a cool friend.
Yeah, he'll warm up to the whole party, I think. It just takes a shining to me for some reason. Anyway, I put it in my backpack, but I got a book titled Grove Holes, which is sort of a descriptive of all the different taverns and such in Greyhawk that the pirates would normally patronage. I found a 2 dice set. One of them is loaded, so it's kind of heavy. One of them's a little heavy. And I found some really greasy playing cards.
Oh, nice. Do you know any good card games? I could show you some.
I played a little bit of cards here and there, probably, but I mean, I'd be willing to learn something new.
All right. That's great. Oh, actually,
Mm-hmm.
we found a couple of books too. I would trade you the 2 books we found for that one you got.
Well, what books did you get?
Well, I mean, it's 2 books for 1, right?
Well, but what if I don't want your 2 books?
I mean, you could sell them. I bet 2 books is worth more than 1 book.
Or we could just share them.
I was gonna say, can we just share the books? Why are we negotiating?
Well, KayBee, you told me that. Well, whatever. Okay, sure, we'll share them.
KayBee, you little scoundrel. Yeah, we'll just share them. If y'all want to read my pirate book, y'all can read my pirate book. As he looks over to KayBee saying that.
I know you didn't say this, but I totally imagine, like, as KayBee and Pole have emerged from this pirate's room, Pole now wearing pirate clothes is I'm just imagining KayBee in, like, the same outfit, but, like, smaller, and it fits you correctly. I mean, obviously that doesn't happen, but that's the vibe I'm getting right now.
Yeah.
You know, we need to look at all the books. I think there's maybe clues. There's one of the books there. It's like maybe about like customs and in like marks and taxation and stuff. I bet you there's clues for smugglers and pirates. We can figure out their network.
We could.
And this one here is Principles of Navigation. I bet you'd love that one. You can read it anytime.
Oh, yes. It would probably help us navigate around things, wouldn't it?
We're all set. We ready to go? Where's Arlen?
I think so. I don't know. She went into one of the rooms up there. I don't know where she went to, but she went into one of the rooms right next to the door that I found, which brought me down here.
So as you say that, the camera transitions back over to Arlen. Arlen, tell me when to stop. Thank you,
Transition.
Matihi. Transition. Matihi, thank you so much for the draw from the deck of many.
Thanks, Matt.
Thank you, Matt. Hold on.
Stop.
I just dropped a ton. It took too long. I dropped them everywhere.
They went everywhere. So all kinds
Okay,
of random
quick,
stuff's happening.
quick.
Stop.
All right, cool. Thank you. All right, so you have more or less thoroughly scouted out this room. What would you like to do?
Was Garen able to open the thing?
Oh, right. Yes, absolutely. Garen goes over and...
He automatically opens it since he needs a win this episode.
You know, I was going to, but then you said that, and now I'm going to roll for him.
No!
I'm sure he'll do great. All right, here we go. I'm all up in your character sheet. 13.
Is enough.
It is enough. Yes. You see that it takes him a little bit on the longer side to get this lock open, but the chest opens up. Okay, hold on. I need to make another roll. I think Garen's smart enough to do this.
How to investigate it.
Okay. All right. So he totally saw that this was definitely trapped before he opened it. And you see him, the reason it took so long is because he took the extra step to disable it as well. So as he opens it up, he points out where there was a needle, and anyone standing in front of the lock would have been struck by this needle, which is attached to a poison sac here inside the lid of it. I'm gonna go ahead and say that he disarms it and he actually removes it so it can be used for something else in the future, because I think he is quite a resourceful person and that is something he would do. Inside the chest, you see that there are 10 electrum ingots, which are probably worth about 100 electrum pieces each.
Oh gosh. Why you gotta bring Electrum into this?
Yeah, I didn't do it. It says it in the book.
It was
It's not
the
my
book.
fault.
The book made you.
Yeah. So you find a sizable sum here.
Alright. I will take those, and I've added them to the loot log, but
Okay.
those are for the party.
We're gonna go ahead and say that as soon as you finish up in there is about the same time that everyone joins you on the main deck.
Hey, Ireland, we found some pirate treasure. We'll share it with you.
Yes.
Don't tell anybody.
Oh, well, you should share it with the rest of the group. And we
Oh.
already talked up to the council about how we were going to take everything that we found here, right?
Oh, we did?
True, yeah, we did.
Do we get to
That's
keep the
fine.
ship?
I like it.
Yeah, we can keep the ship.
Wow.
I guess so. So there we go. See, the book of navigation will be great for us.
As you say that, Imloth is kind of just reclining against the edge of the ship here. Just kind of playing with a little bit of string. And she says, I don't think that the council would be very excited about that. This is a pirate ship. I imagine they would want it either recommissioned or destroyed.
Well, we're going to
Oh.
recommission it to be our ship.
Yeah, I don't think it would be without some measure of persuasion. I'm just warning you in advance.
A few members of the
Oh.
council owe me a favor, so
It's true.
it'll be fine.
Do they?
Well,
You see
yeah.
Imloth,
Stella's like, fuck.
Imloth is kind of looking you up and down, and she's like, do they now? Okay. Well, that's good to know.
So,
Mhm.
what do we do now?
Maybe we should question these guys that we captured. See if they can tell us any more about the operation.
As you
True.
say that, they both begin to kick up a brand new fury of.
Now,
I mean, yeah. I think we.
I'm just happy they're still alive because we left them with Garen.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly if this was handled, but wasn't a buoy sent out to land with a few pirates as well? Did we handle that at all?
You did not. So, just kind of a small flashback here. As the group of you had taken a boat from the cove to the ship, another ship from the boat was going to the cove, so you kind of passed by each other, but it was at a distance where you couldn't really see the features and details of one another. So it does make reason that they will, at some point, reach the cove, see a bunch of dead pirates, and make their way back.
Can Arlen look out and see if she sees anything?
Okay, yeah, absolutely. What is your dark vision again?
I have special eyes, so let me look up the specifics. Dark vision out to a range of 300 feet.
Jeez, what? Okay, so as you look out, you definitely don't see any ships coming. So it'd probably be reasonable enough to say either, one, they're not coming back, or 2, maybe you have a little bit more time to make a decision.
All right, well, the ones that want to land aren't coming back quite yet, or perhaps that the plan wasn't for them to come back. And I'll turn towards the other 2. Could you ungag one of them?
Of course.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, do you want to ungag the one on the left or the one on the right?
What do they look like?
Great question. Let's see here.
I guess I look them over. If there's one who looks like they may be more susceptible to being a blabbermouth, maybe a young pirate.
It's kind of hard to tell. The one on the left is a human, and the one on the right is a dwarf, both of which could have any personality. But the one on the left is dressed a little nicer and has a little less grime on them.
Let me choose the other one.
Okay. So you ungag the dwarf here.
And I speak in Dwarven to him. I say, "Be nice now."
He answers back in Dwarven and says, "If you let me go now, I won't slit your fucking throat."
That's not nice. Don't talk like that.
He
These
tries
are
to
all
kick
respectable.
He obviously can't kick you because he's very, very hogtied. But he tries.
I see you squirming.
I'm a bloody fighter.
Is
I
he
could
saying
take
all
you out.
this in Dwarven?
Yeah, it's all in
The
Dwarven.
big dwarven. Yeah.
So I do a little bit of translation, and then I shake him with my little fists. I'm not very strong. I shake him a little bit, or I shake myself against him.
You see his mouth. He's trying to bite you. Ah, he's very scrappy.
Arlen
well-
will lean down in front of him with a bit of a smile. All right, well, here's how this is going to go. We don't really need both of you, so whichever one of you is willing to be more helpful, I think is the one that we'll keep. So, do you think that's you or the other guy?
They look to each other, and there's just kind of like moment of silence, and you feel the air heavy with tension. And all of a sudden, the one that is gagged begins to like very, very emphatically begin to make a lot of noises. And the one that you have ungagged says, okay, now hold on a minute. Hold on.
Yes.
I will absolutely be more help to you than this fella here.
I don't know, he seems a
His
little bit
name-
more like he wants to talk.
His name is Bloody Bjorn. He is the first mate of the pirate, and you see the bound man beginning to try to kick the dwarf. And
Ungag the other one.
Okay.
Yeah.
You ungag him, and he says, "I'll tell you anything that you want to know."
All right, Garen, KayBee, could you take this one to one of the other rooms, and we'll just question him separately. See how much information they're really willing to give us.
In separate investigations, yeah.
Okay. Where do y'all want to drag each one?
We'll leave the dwarf out here with Arlen.
Okay.
Take the other one to the room with the parrot in it.
Yeah, or we'll
That
go
is
there.
downstairs. No, I think you tried to free the parrot.
But it didn't want to go.
Yeah, so it's literally here on the deck.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll go to one of the side rooms.
Which one? Just pick one.
Yeah, and I think actually a little bit further away. We'll go to the other side of the ship over here.
Okay.
Right side.
So you're bringing the first mate over there?
Yep.
Okay,
Mhm.
very good.
Then whoever wants to come with.
I'll come there with them.
Okay, Paul, that works.
Very good.
I can try casting my friend's spell on him and see if he spills the beans.
I think that's a good idea. Be nice though.
Okay.
Oh, I'm always nice.
We'll start off with KayBee and Pole here. So you bring this first mate over into a separate room. And he's like, please be careful not to drop me. I've got a bad back.
What are you getting old or something? What's wrong?
Oh, life on the sea.
That sounds a lot like adventure.
Oh, I have great many adventures I could tell you about if you let me go.
I'm not in charge. I can't make that decision.
Oh,
Hold still for a moment.
Uh,
My friend's got something he wants to say to you.
and he looks over at Pole. Okay, Pole, how would you like to cast a spell? What does it look like? Paint a picture for us.
Well, I need to get a little bit of makeup, so I'm gonna probably find some of that in the fancy pirate drawers.
Yeah.
So we'll apply a little bit of makeup as I cast the spell, and just make kind of a big grin, smiling face, and touch my cheeks and rub down my eyes, and then I'll go and talk to him. There's no verbal component, so he just does those actions.
Okay, very good. Charisma save. Okay. All right, 11. He fails. So he kind of, as Pole re-enters, a little bit of makeup on his face. You see the first mate, Bloody Bjorn, just kind of a bit enchanted here. Seeming a little woozy where they're seated. And they make very deliberate eye contact with you. What would you like to do or say?
Well, you know that your friend is being interrogated in another room, so we want to really make sure that you're the one who gives us the best information possible, and I'm sure that you can since you were the mate. What can you tell us about what's been going on between your ship and the lizardmen and the what were they called again? Suahogan? Sahagin.
Very good. Go ahead and roll me persuasion at advantage because of the spell.
Right. Persuasion.
Okay, very good. 18. You see him kind of lazily blinking as he's regarding you, Pole, and he says, the Sahagin, I don't really know much about them, but the lizard folk colony is about 10 miles from Saltmarsh. We've been smuggling weapons for them for months now.
It's been that long. Well, they told us that they were having problems with the Sahagin attacking them, and that's why they needed the weapons. So I guess that makes sense.
We aren't exactly in the business of asking questions.
Another question here, briefly, young sir. Who's your contact on the shore? Is there somebody in the city that you're working with?
He like blinks at you, KayBee. Go ahead and roll me persuasion at advantage.
Okay. Dang, not so great.
16. Very good. He also blinks lazily at you, kind of seeming in a daze, and he says, Sambale, the wizard.
Only him, huh?
He's our contact on land, yes.
Nobody in the city council?
Well, that you'll have to ask the captain.
Okay.
When we came on board, we saw another boat passed us by. Do you know who was on that one?
You should know, as we are friends, and it's the protocol. To save time on ferrying back the goods. I think we sent out Bob, Billy, and Dan.
Any of them particularly dangerous fellas?
No. Bob is an absolute terror when it comes to the kitchen.
One more question. Where's your headquarters? This big ship's not going to fit in that little cove over there. Where else do you guys hang out?
Ah, we go to the hold of the Sea Princes.
Well, that's mighty fancy.
Aye. We sometimes make berth in Saltmarsh, but we are a bit wary as of late. The last few months have not been particularly kind to us, with all the king being up in the affairs of the local flavor.
I turn to Paul and give him a shrug to see if he has any more questions.
Well, we did find these books, the legal distinctions and letters of marque and the principles of navigation. Are those yours or are they the captain's?
You see him kind of looking at them. He shakes his head a little. You can see that the spell is beginning to wear off a little. He says, "Hey, those are my... Why are we in my room? Why am I bound?"
For your own protection, sir.
Ah.
We'll conclude the interview. Put the gag back in his mouth.
Okay.
He's got my vote. Very helpful fellow.
All right. So we'll fade over to the others. The dwarf has ceased in their kicking. And kind of looking up at you, Arlen. You can see that they are going a little pale here in the moonlight.
Right, well, obviously, since that other man was the first mate, he might have some more information to give us. So I'd say you're at a bit of a disadvantage. So what exactly can you give me?
Look, I've got a family to feed. That is why I got into the pirate business.
Everybody has a family to
I've got a
feed.
little boy, Timmy. He likes to play horses.
So this isn't information that helps me.
No.
Well,
Let's start. Why haven't the ones that went to land come back yet? I mean, when they went to land, I'm sure they just found dead people. So.
Oh. Well, I suppose. Kind of like looking around. Fortunately, there are no bodies here, and I don't think that this person is aware of what is on the deck above. So he says, "Well, are you responsible for taking out Sambale and his crew?"
As well as yours, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, if it were me, I would cut my losses and scamper. Why would I come back?
And if you were to run somewhere, where would you go?
Well, could be any number of places. Around here, your options are a little limited. Saltmarsh is quite small, but you could perhaps make your way to Burl, or head to Seaton.
All right. And did you know the ones that went to shore pretty well? Any ideas where they might head?
Not exactly. I think one of them has a cousin there in Saltmarsh, but...
All right. It's good to know. And what about those Sahagan? What do you know about them?
Oh, aren't they demons from the deep or something?
Yeah.
Am I a demon of the deep?
You are?
No, am I? I'm asking you.
You look like an elf to me.
A sea elf, maybe, if anything.
Aye. Are you a demon?
To you, apparently. If you think creatures from the sea are just demons.
Oh, well, I've never met a Sahagin, so I don't quite know. I know they're monsters, and they take out ships. But that's the extent of my knowledge.
Do you know why they were on your ship?
There were no Sahagin on the ship.
They were in that room. And I gestured to the room.
I thought those were lizard folk.
The lizard.
Lizard
folk.
folk. Sorry. Thank you.
Oh.
You're welcome. Yeah, why were the
Yes.
lizard folk? They talked about the Sahagin.
Oh, well, like I said, I don't know anything about the Sahagin, but every now and then we do get lizard folk that we ferry on the ship. They like to accompany the weapons that we accumulate and resell. They are quite interested in accumulating quite a number of them. We don't really
So-
ask questions.
So they were just here to take your weapons and go?
I'm sure you see him kind of like point his nose over in the room that they were from. I'm sure if you wanted to take their payment, you could. I'm sure it's one of the chests there. That's generally how we do our arrangements, so to speak. We get paid once they make landfall and secure their weapons.
I think I already found that. So,
Oh.
thanks for that.
See, I'm helpful.
Sure.
We'll see about that. Let's see, what other questions do I have for this guy? Do you ever hear the captain talking about business, talking about any relationships he had on land besides Sanbalay? I'm sure the
Well-
first mate is just singing songs with the others. I'm trying to help you out here.
I have seen the captain rendezvous with some fancy folk, but I'm not a resident of Saltmarsh or a local, so I couldn't put a name to the face or anything like that.
Could you describe him?
Dressed pretty well. It was from a distance. I wasn't exactly invited. Probably a human man.
Older? Younger?
Strapping, at least.
I don't
Alright.
know.
So, a handsome human that was well dressed.
Aye.
Right. And when did they meet?
It was some months ago. They don't meet quite often. It's dangerous.
Alright. Do you know anything about people in town wearing red wraps around their arms?
Never heard of it.
Alright, that's fine. Just shot in the dark.
Aye.
Imlith, do you have anything that you can think of?
Great question. Imloth looks thoughtful. You know, I think I have seen something, but I don't really know what it means. Isn't something that I have really thought about very much. I'm sure if I had opportunities to spot them before, I might not have recognized it as something significant. I think one of the guards in the tower tends to wear one. A small string on their wrist. Blood red in color.
I've seen a few people wearing that now, and I know it's tied to something. I haven't entirely figured out what yet.
Well, once we make land, I can begin a subtle investigation.
Sounds good. I know one of the guards at... It's been a long time. What was the counselor's name?
Galen Primewater.
One of the guards at Garen Primewater's estate was wearing one as well. So that might be a good place to look.
I'll make a few inquiries.
Alright, do you have anything else to tell us?
I'm allergic to peanuts.
Perfect. Let me go see if the others were able to get anything useful out of the first mate.
Yeah.
Wait,
So we
don't leave me.
we drag our guy back out on the deck.
Okay.
And if we see them and coming from the other space, we kind of wave them to bring their guy. Or I guess they're on the deck already, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So when we drag him back and we plop the first mate down, I pat the first mate on the shoulder, and I'm looking at him. I'm speaking Dwarven, so the dwarf understands. I don't know if this guy speaks Dwarven or not.
Let me see.
I say, eighth Bjojard, which is Dwarven for well done. And then I turn to the dwarf and I say, Music beacon. Illusion. I need a secret. Save yourself. With a serious face as I look at the dwarf.
Okay.
Give me a secret. Save yourself.
So the first mate reacting to all of this kind of looks puzzled, doesn't really seem to register what you're saying in Dwarvish. The dwarf here, his eyes go wide as he looks at you, KayBee. And you can see that he's beginning to nervous sweat, trying to think.
Better give me a secret. Better be a good one.
Because you spoke to him in Dwarvish, he responds to you in Dwarvish and says, I've got some buried treasure on the shore, just outside of a tower. Some hours away of travel from Saltmarsh.
Turn to Arlen. Don't we have a map?
I think so. Do we?
I'm sure Garen has a map. That seems like a
Sure.
Garen thing to do.
That
Garen
does seem
pulls,
like a Garen thing.
Pulls out a
Mhm.
map.
I borrow his map, and I go to the dwarf. I tell him, okay, show me exactly what you're talking about here.
If I give you the exact location, you'll just kill me.
No, I promise you, I don't like killing people. Cross my heart and poke my eye and
Maybe you
whatever.
won't kill me, but that one will. Looking over at Arlen as he's
Well, what I know
agitatedly speaking in Dwarvish.
what I know right now is I don't want to put the other guy over the edge of the boat. That's what I know.
And he points at the map with his nose. And
Here, use your toe. I take his boot off.
you see that he's actually missing a toe.
Try the other toe.
God. Okay.
And then wherever he points, I point and say, right here. Right? Is that it?
Well, I mean, so it is a regional map, so you're not gonna like have the fine-tuned location.
Okay, tell me what it looks like.
You see that he's very torn. He points about here.
I'm sorry, was there a ping? Okay. Got it. I'll quiz him a little bit to ask him what to look for.
He will not tell you. He says, listen, I know how this works. I have literally slit people's throats when they've told me.
Do I look like a pirate? Don't look at my friend Paul. Do I look like a pirate?
The most cunning pirates don't look like pirates.
I see.
Giving KayBee ideas. Please, just let me take you there. I don't want to die.
I know, that's kind of sad, isn't it? Well, I'm not in charge here.
Oh, he switches to common, looking deliberately at Arlen. You could surrender bloody Bjorn to the council. I'm sure there's a bounty out on him.
Oh, nice!
He's probably wanted in Barrel.
And I walk back with the map and I borrow a pen and a secret treasure right there.
And if you
Oh.
want to find the secret treasure, you'll have to keep me alive. I will point you exactly to it. I will unearth it with my very hands.
How do we know that you're not making this up to keep your life?
I will take you there. I will provide. I will give you the spoils of my adventures.
What do you think, Arlen?
And what does that amount to?
Well, it's not all gold pieces. It should probably be about... You see him start looking at his toes, and he's trying to count with his toes. Carry the two. It should probably be about 200 gold of value.
And I'll look towards the first mate. And how much do you think a bounty on you is worth?
He goes,
And gag him.
Okay. He says, look, I'm more useful alive than dead or behind bars. I'm an exceptional fighter. With me at your side, there is nothing we cannot do.
I don't really want you on my side. Nor do I really need you. I just need information. That's all I wanted.
Well, I've told
So-
your folk everything that I know.
Did he give you much? I'll look towards the others.
Oh, it's not bad. He told us. Yeah, he told us a little. He told us the name of his contact.
And what was that?
San Belay.
Oh, we killed him already.
Oh, really? You
What?
didn't say that, KayBee.
Yeah.
You took out Sambalay?
Yeah, we took him out.
It's a week ago.
I wasn't here yet.
No, he wasn't with us yet.
But a warrior like yourself, I'm sure you could have killed Sanbalay yourself.
Of course.
Yeah.
That slimy bastard.
So, again, how much do you think a bounty on your head is worth?
Probably only 10 gold.
Alright. So, I'll look towards the dwarf. Seems like you're a bit more valuable.
Wait, no.
I'm not entirely
500
heartless,
gold.
though. I've heard a great story about pirates and walking the plank.
Yes.
We're not too far away from shore, do you think? Maybe you could swim.
They both kind of squirm in their bounds.
Oh, don't worry, dwarf. You're safe. It's the other one.
Bloody Bjorn looks frantically around the group, locks eyes with Pole. I appeal to your sense of mercy. Please.
Well, I like to be merciful, but you know, I'm new to the group. They like to do things differently sometimes, so you better give us a reason to be more merciful.
Well, you know, new blood means that new history can be written. Perhaps, you know, the group can take a turn, find themselves to be more merciful folk than they were before. You know,
know,
that
right?
gods are very, very kind to those who bring back sailors from the ocean. Procan, ah yes, the god of the sea of travelers. I know that Saltmarsh here does have a temple to Procan.
I already
sounds
have
good.
my own god.
Oh, I'm not saying you have to find God, but there will be eyes on us, and Procan will know if you don't take this opportunity to see safety to one of his kin to shore.
Well, if you're one of his kin, don't you think he'll bless you to be able to swim? As a first mate, how many people have you seen walk the plank over the years?
You see his lip beginning to quiver a little bit.
Do you not think that you should have perhaps had the same ideology back then?
Fine, I'll walk the plank. I'll do it. This makes sense. This seems right.
All right. Your fate is in your own hands. Isn't that better than me just outright killing you?
You will unbind me though, won't you?
I think we should just bring him in for the reward, even
Yeah,
if it's only 10 gold. It's something.
I agree.
Yeah. Was there... I know that we had a thing about not leaving anyone on the ship. We're not supposed to let anyone leave on the ship, but were we supposed to also bring somebody in? Or do we just want to...
Imloth says, I mean, that makes the most sense. apprehend those who are around. I don't think the council would require you to take out every single life that you find here.
All right, good. All right. I just want to make sure I'm not going to get in trouble with the council.
Life is precious.
It's something.
KayBee, you're a new student of mine.
Yes, ma'am.
As an adventurer, sometimes not all lives are precious. Sometimes examples need to be made, punishments need to be dealt. It's hard to say.
A bound prisoner can't really escape now, can they? I mean, I could tickle them and there's nothing you could do.
You tickle him.
Sometimes mercy must be shown, though.
I agree.
So, Finn,
Yes.
I'll let it be your call. I can release him from his bonds. He can take penance for the people he's made walk the plank. And he can walk it himself. Try to swim to shore. Or we can take him in. What say you?
You know, I think it'll go a long way for us with the council if we bring him in.
Very well.
Imloth says, do you want to take the ship to Saltmarsh directly?
That'd probably be the fastest way, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Beat swimming.
I don't want to swim.
Alright, well, either one of you could go to Saltmarsh ahead of time with the rowboat to let the authorities know that this pirate ship isn't full of pirates. Or I can go ahead.
Could one of you describe to me what your... Or did we get a decent look at the other pirates that went ashore?
No, you did not see them at all. They were too far away. They didn't see you, you didn't see them.
We got their names though.
Could
Bill
you
and Bobby, and who were the
describe
other two?
Yeah.
your friends for us?
That could be their pirate names, though.
True.
What, you
Could
get
you-
different names?
Sometimes.
Wouldn't you?
And then you hear Bloody Bjorn say, I've got a different name for each girlfriend. Ha 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 ha.
Well,
Are you sure you don't want to make him walk the plank?
You mean your mother didn't name you that?
Well,
you know,
Bloody
after a comment
Bjorn!
like that, after a comment like that, I kind of almost wanted to walk the plank a bit. But he could survive. We don't know if he's a good swimmer or not. I feel like turning him in, regardless, he'll be captured.
All right.
Yeah. Only a person who can swim would say, make me walk the plank anyway, right?
I mean, you got to think at some point his captain might have made him walk the plank. You can learn to swim sometime.
But you know, I'm so glad that I'm mentored by somebody who's so wise and thoughtful and considerate of captured prisoners who are bound and can't escape.
Okay.
All right, KayBee. So we'll bring him in. I'll swim ahead and let the guards know, and also let them know to be on the lookout for people entering town.
Very
Yeah.
good. I know
And
how
what-
to steer the ship, so I'll be able to give them guidance.
And we'll take down the pirate flag.
Ooh, can I steer the ship?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, why not?
Where's that navigation book?
Here you go.
I
Oh,
told you they'd come in handy.
it's upside down. Sorry, here you go.
All right.
Oh, I just was gonna stand on it.
Stand
Oh.
on the book.
Not very tall.
Oh. Oh my gosh.
They said that if you're going to be an adventurer, you best stand on principle.
Wow. Okay.
Oh no. Hello, Raider.
Hi, Raiders. Welcome in. Thank you so much for the raid. Okay. So we're going to do a little bit of a flash forward here. So Arlen will go ahead and swim forward and meet up with the dockmaster and speak with the council here to more or less announce your arrival. Under the direction of Imloth, you're able to drive the sea ghost into the bay without any difficulty. And you have
Yay.
2 prisoners in tow. 3, if you count the recently freed Oceanus. So as
Well,
the group of you...
uh,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Oceanus is presenting as a pretty friendly and helpful person, right?
Yes, Oceanus
Mhm.
is an aquatic elf. So they are not exactly the same as Arlen, but they are cousins. They do offer to help you and seem to know a little bit about seafaring.
Didn't Oceanus friend Paul? Or am I thinking of somebody else?
Yep. They
Okay.
did seem to bond. Oceanus keeps to himself and he's quite quiet in the hours that pass to bring the sea ghost into harbor here. But he is pretty forthcoming and helpful as much as he can be.
Does he know about the Sahagin? As his people have problems with him as well.
So if you engage him and ask him about him, he nods very fervently. And he'll speak to you, Pol, in a very quiet voice, and he will say that they are the natural enemy of my people. We are often at odds with the Sahagin. They tend to be quite cruel and vicious people.
Have you ever thought of joining up with the lizard folk and kicking them out?
He looks thoughtful and he says, I never knew that they were suffering from the Sahagin. Perhaps it would behoove my people if I can return to them and let them know that an enemy of my enemy is my friend.
That makes sense to me. But yeah, do your people live near here?
He looks around as you are all coming in towards Saltmarsh, and he says, it might take me some time to get my bearings. I don't know where we are.
All right. Well, it's called Saltmarsh. We have a map.
He looks at the map and he admits to you that he's not very well traveled. We'll say that by the time that you all return to Saltmarsh, Arlen is there to greet you. And standing next to Arlen is Hannah Rist. So, Pol, you see, perhaps for the first time, a very manicured appearing woman. She seems to be moderately wealthy. She has her hair pulled back, this sort of deep chocolate hair pulled into a very tight bun without a single hair out of place. She's wearing these long gloves that go up to her elbows, and she's wearing a dress that is completely fitted. And she is standing at the dock next to Arlen. And as the group of you make your way off of the ship and the boat is secured, you see that there are a number of guards already here. Among them is Jeff, who throws a wink at the group of you before clambering onto the boat to assist with the cataloging of possessions here and also to deal with the bodies and the prisoners. So as all these things are going on, the guards seem to be moving forward with their own sort of initiative. What would you like to do or say? Do any of you want to interfere?
Well, Arlen, you have posh friends.
Council members.
Yes, he's this is one of the members of the council that we keep referring to.
Oh, I'm pleased to meet you. I'll bow before the council person. I'm Paul of Emenfort. I've just joined up with these people.
Yes, he joined us along the way as we were making our way to this.
You see Hannah just kind of flattens some hairs on the side of her head. I'm not exactly part of the council yet. I would like to be, but...
Oh, right.
Hello. Nice to meet you, Paul.
Oh, and I'm not a pirate. I'm just wearing the clothes. It's a long story.
Well, I am a friend of Arlen and her people here. If you require something better fitted and less greasy, I can procure some things for you.
Oh, that'd be wonderful. Thank you. So, we brought a prisoner.
Oh, yes. And she'll look to Arlen. Arlen, what would you have told Hannah of what to expect when the ship comes in?
We killed a lot of them. We have 2 prisoners. There are 3 others that were sent to land by the ship to collect resources, but it seems that they've run, and one of them has a cousin here potentially, and they might be coming into town. And I'm not meaning to intentionally leave anything out. So if I
Okay.
am leaving something out, let me know.
I think the only things that would be kind of hot buttons are the mention of the lizard folk being there, letting them go, and also helping yourselves to any treasure that is on this ship, because it is probably very safe to assume anything on the ship was stolen from somewhere else.
Didn't we tell them we were going to keep the treasure or keep whatever we found?
Yes.
I thought we did.
Yeah, I thought we did too.
Okay. Then we'll say that they won't mind about that then.
Okay.
So
then-
Yeah,
The issue of the lizard folk.
Yeah, I won't mention the lizard folk then.
At all?
Yeah.
Okay. So Hannah looks over to Arlen and says, yes, we were told about the 2 prisoners. We will be taking them in, and I'm sure that Eleander Fireborn will see to that they answer any questions that are required, and then they would be taken to trial.
Oh, and this is my new friend Oceanus. He's a sea elf, and he was captured by the pirates.
Oh, heavens.
We've set him free.
Oh,
Mhm.
well. If you need a good fresh start here in Saltmarsh, I will see to what I can do as well. Welcome to Saltmarsh, Oceanus. You see him kind of dip his head, and he's kind of pulling his clothes a little closer to himself, looking warily at all of the guards that pass by, and you can see that they're bringing down bolts of cloth and rolling different barrels down off of the ship, and you see Bloody Bjorn being taken away, and the dwarf as well. They're kicking and hollering all sorts of curses.
Was there a reward for turning in those pirates?
Of course, I'm sure. You'll of course have to speak with Eleander Fireborn, the captain of the guard.
Yeah. Yes.
I just wanted to personally make sure that you were safe and sound back on shore, and so you could see a friendly face. The council will be gathering together here shortly if you want to join me, though of course they all understand that you had a rough night if you'd like to compose yourselves for a few hours first.
It's up to the group. I'm all right with seeing them now, but
I'm fine with going.
Do we need fancy dress clothes?
Oh no.
Hmm.
Please, follow me. And she will begin to guide you into the council hall. And we have a little montage here as you are gathered. You see, again, Anders Solmore, the fresh-faced young gentleman who is very, very enthusiastic as you tell him of what you had encountered, what you saw, what you learned. He's very enthusiastic. You see him patting the person next to him on the shoulder, being like, those are my friends. They're very good at what they do. Can you repeat that last part again? I want to make sure I get it right, just down to the details. I'm going to tell everyone I know of this tale at dinner tonight. And you see Gellin Primewater kind of leaning back this very distinguished looking gentleman with a cane. He's stroking his beard and he says, "Yes, good thinking, young Anders. We should throw a party in celebration of these fine individuals taking down the smuggling ring just outside of our dear Saltmarsh. What a splendid idea, young man." You see Ida Oland, the more or less head of the council, loved by the locals here. She steeples her hands together, and she seems quite appreciative of what's going on. You see her nodding, but she seems to be on the quiet side. And she seems to have most of her focus on the ledger that has been presented to her, cataloging everything that was found on the ship, who was found on the ship, and all of that, just processing the information. You see Manistrad Copperlocks, the dwarven woman who's in charge of the Copperlocks mine. She looks a bit irritated, a little concerned. You see her tapping her foot, arms crossed over her chest. She doesn't seem to want to be here. She's kind of looking around, looking at the door every now and then. And the party is paid at the very end of all of this. You are each given 200 gold pieces.
Ooh.
Could I...
Wow.
So I imagine Arlen is probably telling the story. But as that's happening, could I insight check the various members, particularly the men, to see if I'm getting the sense that any of them are perhaps slightly disappointed or annoyed that the pirates were taken down?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and roll me investigation. Not insight. Sorry. Okay, 18. And anybody else who wants to roll an insight check, tell me like what you want to look for, what you're trying to focus on. Anybody can do this roll too.
I think Finn will also sort of insight check just to see, especially the cold water, because I believe, if I remember right, I had chatted with him before we left, and I got a bad vibe off of him. I got a bad vibe off of somebody
Okay.
from the console.
Okay, that's an 11 from Finn. KayBee?
Nope.
Nope. Pole?
No, I don't. He doesn't know these people, so I don't think he can really do it.
Okay, sounds good. So Arlen. So Finn, you're not really quite sure. Everyone seems to be more or less pleased. Manistrad is definitely on the annoyed side, but it's really hard to tell if there's anything guileful or deceitful with her. You know that she's a busy woman, so it's probably something along that line. For Arlen with an 18, it's really hard to tell. The only two individuals at the table that are council members that are men are Gelen Primewater and Anders Solmore, both of which seem to be very pleased that this has happened. Gelen wants to throw a party, and Anders wants to invite you to dinner now.
Alan always wants to throw a party, though.
It is true. You have certainly heard this reputation. And having been to his home, you can see that he has the space for it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, cool. So eventually I'll finish the story, and then, I mean, from there, do we just leave?
So at the very end, you will hear Anders turn to Hannah, who is there with you, and say, "You have done a very fine job of finding remarkable people capable of heroic things. Well done, Hannah." "Yes, Miss Wrist," you hear Edda Oland say. "The council sees your usefulness, and perhaps should you continue to provide more results for the people of Saltmarsh, the council itself could benefit from more of your presence." You see Gelen Primewater just kind of huff out of breath, lean back in his chair, and takes a great big swig of wine. sense maybe a little bit of jealousy there. Eleander Fireborn is kind of leaning more towards the books here between him and Ida Oland. And they seem very eager to continue to, focus on the investigation. Hannah says, well, if there's nothing else, then I will make sure that our heroes get some good rest.
Well, I'm pulling Arlen's sleeve. Arlen, maybe ask him about the boat. Maybe we commission it in defense of the city.
Oh, we would also like to keep the boat.
Keep the boat. As soon as boat gets mentioned, you see everyone's eyes light up. And I think that Arlen especially would remember over the various times that you've talked about these people, inquired about them, that you've learned a lot of them have a big investment in the fishing industry. And a lot of them get that sort of look in their eye of there's something valuable that they each want. Having a whole boat is a mighty thing in a place that thrives on fishing.
Yeah,
what
but
do
this
they
place
say?
has no fish anyway.
You do notice, today, as the new day is starting, that there is again no rain, and that the docks here in Saltmarsh are completely full of ships. Very few of them are out on the water. And they all look to each other and say, Ida says, we will bring it to a vote. How does that sound? And we will make sure that you are present so that you have a say in it as well. But for now, I think that the Sea Ghost should sit in harbor, and we should investigate what we can with these new leads thoroughly.
I believe we said that we would keep what we found. And you agreed.
You see, everyone at the table sharpens their eyes at you.
Arlen.
Arlen, go ahead and roll me a persuasion check here. You do have one nat 20 left, and you have a
Oh, no.
reroll.
I have a nat 20. I'm using that sucker.
Okay.
Are you kidding me?
Nat 20.
Oh
All right.
no.
Okay.
Oh.
You see everyone's eyes sharpen. Actually, Manistrad doesn't seem to give a fuck about the boats, but Eleander speaks up, and he says, a contractual obligation is an obligation. It would befit the council to honor their words. Those who wish to move, that the party should be given what they were told they would be given, say aye. And he lifts up his hand. Manistrad automatically lifts up her hand. She doesn't give a fuck. She wants to get out of here. You see Anders kind of look a little uncertain, and then he raises his hand. Ida and Gelen eyeball each other. And then Gelen says, we're outvoted, sweetie. There's no point. And he raises his hand. Ida sighs, closes her eyes. Very well. Enjoy your new ship. Expect to pay your taxes very, very soon.
Oh, that's fine. We have plenty of money.
And you will have to ensure that your license is up to date.
Being from the water and kind of like a port city, what would I know about licensing?
So it would be mostly just paperwork to identify this ship, who's the rightful owner. So it's kind of just standard stuff that would make sense to make sure that this is an official ship and not, one that's illicit. That way you can be, logged, and what you're carrying can be, paper trail, all that good stuff.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right, I'll be.
We have a whole book
to do
about
that
it.
in the morning.
Do have a whole book about it.
As I'm sure you know, we've had a busy night. We're so exhausted, so I'll take care of that tomorrow.
Of course. Very well.
Mm-hmm.
She sighs and then she says, Eleander, should we continue? And they turn their heads back down to the books. And Hannah bows to the council. Thank you so much for your time. We will go now. And she leads you out.
Before we go,
Mhm.
I think Paul wants to just whisper to the rest of the party. Do you think we should tell them about this Hoggin? Because they might, if they attack the town, we want them to be prepared.
I'm gonna say that Hannah's not with you in this huddle because Arlen didn't mention the lizard folk. Unless you want to bring her in to it.
Not unless everyone says so. So definitely just us.
Maybe
Yeah.
later. I think we got to figure out what's going on there.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to attack. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to attack Saltmarsh or not. It seemed like they were focused on lizard people in their world, not really our world. But
Maybe the lizard folk might be friends.
true.
Well, that's what I'm thinking, right? But see if there's a Hoggin are bad, and we can get everyone lined up against them, the sea elves and the lizard folk and the people of Saltmarsh, they'll stand a much better chance of holding them off. We won't have to wait, And I'm sorry, but it happened in my country that the people from the Pomar just kept going over everybody, and it's because they didn't band together fast enough. So I say it's better if everybody knows who the enemy is. So they can get together.
I say the best course of action would be to keep it between us right now. Don't tell Hannah. Let's do some research in town. Let's see if there's been any threat whatsoever ever of these people of this colony of people to Saltmarsh. If there has been history, then yeah, I think we should probably bring it up. But if there's no history, then we're gonna band a bunch of people together for something that they may not ever show up for. So let's do some research first and look out for it.
Yeah, but they're already fighting the lizard folk, and they're already having problems because of it.
Well, they got weapons. They wanted weapons to fight. They wanted to prepare themselves. We gave them the weapons, so they got all the protection they need for now. So I think they'll be okay. So.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
And Hannah kind of turns around from the distance and says, are you coming or not? Please, join me. Let's have some lunch at the snapping line. Snapping line? Snapped line?
Snapping lion. Oh.
Yeah.
Is it lunchtime?
I'd like lunch.
It'll be like early lunch. It's like early morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brunch,
Brunch.
whatever. Well,
Brunch.
Everyone loves brunch. We'll do brunch.
Avocado toast for me.
What's avocado? I've never had it. So you are all joined with Hannah, and you are given some claw wine, which is made out of lobster, and it's
Love
very peculiar. And you're given some fresh bread and some foods to munch on. I'm gonna go ahead and say that this is a good time for us to take a quick break. We will be back in about 5 minutes. Please grab some water, grab a snack, do a stretch, and we'll be back here soon. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for your patience. Thank you, Indigo Chameleon, for the raid. Welcome on in, everyone. We are playing Ghosts of Saltmarsh. This is our Patreon Greyhawk campaign. We call it Secrets of Saltmarsh. The group has just finished their encounter on the Sea Ghost, found the pirate ship, took control of it, brought it back here into Saltmarsh, and now we have the choice of going to the snapping line for some lunch, and you can stay there if you like, or you can head over to the Wicker Goat. So Hannah has put out some food for you and has invited you to stay. What would the party like to do?
Following my boss.
Eat some food.
Yeah, I'm gonna eat some food.
Finn's eating food.
Okay. So as you're kind of seated together, Hannah will join you at the table. She seems to be very much encouraging you to share with her more details, kind of asking some inquisitive questions of like, oh yes, the council, you had an agreement to take whatever you like. What sort of things did you find?
Coins, electrum bars,
Oh.
lots of miscellaneous things. I think a few of you found books.
Yes. I found one book, and then KayBee and Pole found 2.
Oh, very good.
I also found a very greasy pair of cards, but
I also
Oh.
found the shield.
you did find a shield.
Oh, the shield is from the ship. Oh, what a peculiar design. What is that symbol?
What is the symbol on it?
Hold on, let me look it up again.
It's like a lizard or something in front.
A lizard with a forked tongue extended.
That's what it was.
So,
Yeah.
a question, Stella. I think I heard you say that the council was looking at the books that we had recovered. Were they looking at those?
Not your
No,
books, their
okay.
books. So
Gotcha.
their logs of like the
Okay.
number of dead bodies on the ship, who are the people, basically just their cataloging of their investigation. Yeah.
Yeah. So if that information wasn't available to Hannah, that might be some of the things we discuss with her, share with her. Be sure, because she may not have seen that.
Yeah, so she like looks at the books as you present them to her, and she says, "Oh, these are peculiar reads. They're not exactly the most rare kind of books, but they are certainly uncommon. We might get a pretty penny or two, but this one, pointing at grog hovels, I've never heard of this one. I'm sure this is a very limited print. You probably want to keep a hand on this one."
Yes, I plan to keep this one around for sure. I want to give it a good read.
Well, I mean more in the sense of, I don't think anyone will realistically buy it from you. It's a very specific kind of book.
Oh, yes. It's more for information's sake.
Quite. Well, you do all smell of the ocean quite a bit.
Yes. Yeah.
Did you want me to set up some rooms for you here in the Snapping Line, or did you want to continue your stay at the Wicker Goat?
Interesting. Does she seem to be in a generous mood?
Yeah. So this was not an offer made to you before. She seems to be quite pleased. She keeps pouring more drink as you're drinking, providing more food. Oh, let me give you another helping of sausages or cheese. And so she's definitely in a very, very altruistic mood. The spirits are high, and it makes sense. The council did receive all of this very well,
Yes.
and more or less invited Hannah to continue servicing Saltmarsh.
That's a very nice, generous offer for you. Would it be for the night, just to freshen up, or?
Oh, for let's say a month.
A month?
Like, I'm sorry, I can't guarantee an indefinite stay.
Oh no, I wasn't expecting a whole month either.
Well, I'm in a very good mood.
Well, I don't know. What do you all think? I know we have a lot of our stuff over at the other place. Do we want to make a temporary stay here for a while? Not pass up this generous opportunity?
Well, I haven't set up, so I'm happy to come here.
Oh, right. We just gave you a room and you didn't get too much with it, did you?
Well, thanks for that. It's just this place seems a lot more posh, so I bet it costs more. It's a good deal.
Yeah, just to kind of set the scene a little bit more, the Snapping Line does look quite different from the Wicker Goat. It seems to have more of a theme. You can see that there are sails kind of hung up on the walls, anchors, fishing nets. They're really leaning into the whole fishing sort of theme here. It seems a little bit more touristy, but it makes sense. You are in the center of Saltmarsh rather than the outskirt here. As you look out the window, you can see the market just across the street.
Well, What do you guys think? I don't know if I want to pass up a nice little opportunity. I mean, it's free for a month.
Sounds fine to me.
Very good. I'll get the rooms set up.
Could I ask a favor? Well, not really a favor.
Of course, Arlen, we are friends.
I'm gonna give her 50 gold.
Oh,
This is for my friend Jeff to come and get drinks. If this could just be an ongoing credit for him.
oh, I see. Is that Jeff the city guard?
Yes.
Very good. I think he'll be very pleased to know that you are thinking of him. I will make sure the message is passed on and that a seat is kept warm for him.
Of course.
Very good. Thank you for your generosity.
Of course. It also seems that the party seems to follow him in quite a few places, so perhaps he'll bring some people with him.
Oh, he
Yeah.
certainly will. He has a way with people.
He does.
Right, well, I will go about seeing to your rooms being made, and they should be ready for you in about an hour.
Okay. Okay.
Arlen, what's your favorite flower?
That's a bit of an odd question to ask in the middle of nowhere.
Well, I like flowers. I think everybody likes some kind of flower.
All right, well, she seems to think about it for a second. Sea lilies.
Oh, those are nice. Which
are.
ones? What color you like best?
Like the red ones.
Very good, very good, very good. Okay, got it.
Everyone at the table is just looking really curiously at KayBee.
Don't worry about it.
All right, so does the group
And,
want to head over to the Wicker Goat and like get all your things and stuff?
That's what I was gonna ask. Did we want to go back and settle things and maybe even I don't know if we'd have time. Would we have time in the hour to like freshen up, or was that sort of the?
It was like a take as long as you need, but don't come back for an hour kind of thing, because it won't be
Okay.
ready for you. Yeah.
I think Finn will definitely want to at least shower or freshen up and gather some important stuff. And...
Yeah, we'll say that y'all head over to the Wicker Goat, and this is a great opportunity for you to take a nap, to get washed up, all that good stuff.
Mhm.
Finn, can you please
No.
tell me when to stop?
No.
Thank you, Adam, so much for the draw from the deck of many things.
Adam, why would you do this to me, friend? Stop.
Okay. Excellent. All right. So, as the group of you make your way over to the Wicker Goat, Finn, you decide to do a bath. As you are taking your bath here,
Oh, no.
we'll say that it's like a nice, cozy, calm kind of vibe. You're in this like heated tub. There's like herbs thrown in there, so it smells very earthy. It's very fragrant and it's
Mhm.
very enjoyable. And you're sort of sighing, relaxing. You
Mhm,
feel the tension leaving your body. And in this moment of comfort, you decide that the worldly burdens all around you, you know what? You could definitely let go of one. You have drawn the Fool card.
Oh man.
You let go of something or you lose something. So with the revised deck of many things, this is a little more vague. It doesn't have to specifically be a memory anymore. It could be
Okay.
a sense of something. So like, you know, like sense of fashion or some kind of like sense of
Oh.
morality. Or you could lose like
Okay.
a bond, right? So
Okay.
you can lose a friendship, a
Oh.
promise, something like
Lord.
that. So I'll let you have a minute to think about that.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone else, is there anything specific you want to do while you're here? Quick is here to join you. So we see the Kenku warrior stand up as soon as the group of you clamber up the stairs. looks over you, grabs KayBee by the shoulders, turns you around, sees that you're not wounded very deeply or hurt very much, and exhales raggedly.
Good to see you, Quick. We got a new boss. Arlen's the boss now. She made me a knight. I think we're gonna make a symbol on the shield and stuff. I'll make one for you too if you want.
You see Quick's head kind of cant and look curiously to Arlen, and then bows their head deeply to you.
I'll just kind of like nod towards Quick.
Arlen.
So,
We're gonna relocate to the other place. So pack up your stuff. Maybe comb those feathers a little bit.
See him kind of like nervously, sheepishly reach up and begin to smooth out some of his feathers. He moves over to a reflective surface and just kind of fixes himself a little. And all you see is him move over to the main table in this sort of lofty area. He opens his backpack, puts an apple in it, closes it, and then kind of just stands at the ready to go. You know that Quick travels light.
does Jeff happen to be there?
Downstairs? He is currently not there.
Wow. Okay. Hey, KayBee.
Mm-hmm.
Could I ask a favor?
Absolutely.
I'm curious if this is anything special or if it's just a normal shield with some paint on it. Could you check?
I will
And I'm
check
gonna give him the shield.
it. Okay, I'll check it out.
Okay, how do you want to check this out?
So, I am going to go in my room and I'm going to get out my tools. I'm going to get out some rags. I'm going to clean it up. I'm going to press the digitate to make it squeaky clean. And I'm going to break open my spell book and cast an identify spell. Check it out. Use my last spell slot from overnight into today. We haven't rested, I think.
Nope.
And I'm going to give it a good look over. If there's any small dents, cracks, etc., I'm going to mend them.
It's very weathered.
I'm gonna do what I can to make it better if I can.
Okay.
And super clean, and check it out and see if there's any magic in it.
Okay, can you post the mend spell? So as you were casting Identify and looking it over, it's definitely not magical whatsoever. It's just a regular shield. Okay. So you do see that it is very worn down by weather. There seems to be some deep grooves in the wood because of sea wind and sea salt. You see that the paint is chipped and faded in different places. But as you cast your mending spell, it will definitely take you quite a bit of time to do this. You have to cast it quite a few times because the trauma goes deep into it. But you do manage to restore it to its former glory. And it is a very heavy, very good shield, but it is not magic.
Okay.
Yep. So after you finish all that, what would you like to do?
Yep. I return it to Arlen.
I guess there's nothing special about it. I did look it over and it's in pretty good shape. You know, I was looking at it and I tell you that it probably is crafted by those lizard folk. It looks, this kind of craft, there's no maker's mark on it, I guess. Not that I saw.
How old? Do I know it's really old? Anything?
So, before we decide anything, Arlen, tell me when to stop. Thank you so
What?
much,
Excuse me?
Adam, for the
Oh,
card.
fuck. Oh, okay.
Let's see if it turns into magic all of a sudden.
He was threatening to throw 5 cards at me, so I'm relieved it's just 1. 1. I guess that means stop.
Oh, okay. Well, very good. All right, the shield remains unmagical.
Okay.
It's a good shield.
Yeah, it's a good shield.
It looks very nice. A lot better than it did before. Thanks for looking after it.
Anytime, boss.
You don't have to call me boss.
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
You can just call me Arlen.
All right. So, Cole, you didn't really get to live into your room quite very much so far, but is there anything that you'd like to do? The entire tavern is open to you. You see that downstairs there are quite a few people around. Most of them seem to be miners or guards, just people who are working, getting a quick bite to eat. And there is the wolfhound, the Barley, who's a bit on the older side with a scruff and gray whiskers.
Yeah, I'll go scratch Barley and see if I can get some food for him.
Absolutely, yes. He is very, very pleased to be at your side and take whatever scraps or whole bits of anything you want to give him.
Yeah, I already had lots of food, so I'll just buy a whole meal and give it to him.
Oh my god. It's to the point where he's almost like crawling into your lap. He's just enjoying you so much. He gives you many kisses.
Yeah, Paul will kind of get a wistful look in his eyes. He's scratching this mutt's head. Wish Penny was here. It's not really right. We won and everything. Oh well.
I think Barley senses this sadness welling in you, and he almost knocks the chair over as he just tries to, like, carry himself into your lap and kiss you all over, slobbery and whimpering like a puppy and trying to love on you. You definitely don't feel alone in this moment.
Yeah, Paul won't hold him back. Just get licked and take it. Full face wash.
Aw. Yeah, you don't need a bath. Lord Guzuma, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome
my
on
God.
in, everyone. We are playing our Secrets of Saltmarsh Greyhawk campaign. Thank you. Welcome on in. The party just brought back the sea ghost from the clutches of some local pirates. And they are now being invited to move over to the snapping line. All right, Finn, you had drawn the Fool card. As you're taking this very luxurious bath, you know, just unburdening yourself of stress, what do we see you lose forever?
Okay, so it's not longer just a memory anymore.
You can be anything you want. You just lose something?
The dirt that was on you.
No, I don't think that counts.
No.
God, I'm still struggling with this.
Okay. I mean, you don't have to answer it now if you don't want.
I don't want to keep dragging it off though. We'll just say for whatever reason, that Finn sort of forgets the information that was told by him by the two people we captured.
Okay.
Any information he overheard or knew about, for whatever reason in this bath, he's just soaking and he's just laying in there and it's just forgetting. He remembers the battle, he remembers everything else, and he remembers all the things, but just that negotiation for whatever reason just slips his mind.
Okay. So do you mean specifically when you were talking to the two pirates or
Yes,
when you
the
were
two
talking
pirates.
to the lizard folk?
No, the two pirates.
Okay, great. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Okay, very good.
Okay.
All right. So the group of you gather back together in the loft, the second floor of the Wicker Goat. You have your bags all packed.
Yep.
What would you like to do? A lot of you are very tired. You have literally gained control of a pirate ship, taken out the pirates, brought it back, and somehow managed to take ownership of the pirate ship. So there have been a lot of political somersaults, as well as a few literal somersaults through these various battles.
Well, I feel a bit relaxed from the bath. It probably would be nice to go lay in bed. So I don't know about the bulk of you, but once we get there and we get settled, I think I'm gonna take a nap.
Sounds like a good idea. Let's go ahead and head that way then.
No.
Okay.
No need to wait.
All right. As you are making your way across Sharkfin Bridge to get from the Wicker Goat to the Snapping Line, you see that there is something swimming in the water. It seems to be drawing the attention of people all around you. People are pointing, saying, "Look, what is that?"
Did somebody see a fish?
Are they back?
Arlen's gonna look.
Okay. So as you kind of like elbow your way in, you look, and it is definitely not a fish, but it is an overgrown, oversized crocodile. It seems to be slowly swimming through here. There's a few people panicking at the docks closest to it, but this creature does not seem to be particularly aggressive right now.
Large enough to probably eat people, right? I mean, is
Oh
it
yeah,
huge?
it's like the size of a small boat. Like, probably most of you could ride it together. It's very large.
Wow, that's big. Is that a sea crocodile?
Paul will go talk to it.
So the bridge is quite high. You would probably have to drop down like 50 feet.
He'll do it. Or go around, go back to where the bridge starts, and then come down to the shore and say, "Hey there, fella. How's it going?"
It is a bit kind of out, so you would have to get into the water.
All right.
Okay, so party. You see Pole just, see the crocodile begin to walk off the bridge backwards and then is approaching the shore and beginning to wade out into the water. How does the party respond?
He sure does like animals.
Yeah, that might not be the best idea. I'm going to try to get its attention, and I have let's see. I have Emissary of the Sea, which lets me communicate simple ideas with beasts that can breathe water. And I just want to try to tell it, don't eat that person.
Okay. So how are you doing this? Are you like also gonna wade out with Pole? Because when you communicate with it, it's gonna have to be within like earshot. You're gonna have to get kind of close to this. It's just lounging out in the water.
That's fine.
Okay.
I'm great with sea life.
Okay. KayBee, what do you want to do?
I turn to Finn.
And I say, who's second in charge? I mean, if Arlen doesn't come back, are you the new boss, Finn?
I mean, if you want me to be a new boss, I can be.
I think you were an apprentice before I was, right?
I was the apprentice before you, but I don't know about the boss business. We didn't discuss that. But I have all the confidence in Arlen, like you do, that she'll be just fine.
I think so.
We'll be right here to protect her, right?
Yeah, front row seats. Let's go. Let's.
You got the popcorn?
What's popcorn?
Sea urchins here somewhere.
Oh yes.
All right. So as the group of you make your way out into the water, Pole, you see that Arlen is joining you. Arlen, what does that sound like when you speak to beasts of the sea?
I think that's a great question. I think she just really like kind of talks normally.
Okay.
And they just like understand. So she'll just kind of say, Hey, don't hurt this one. Yeah.
You see the head fully emerge out from the water. You see this long, massive snout. And you see that on the side of its head facing towards you, it doesn't have an eye. It seems to have suffered some kind of great injury, and there's just an empty socket there. And it begins to slowly turn towards you. And as it faces towards you, wheeling around, its other eye comes and fixates on Arlen, and then Pole. you realize that this eye is very, very shiny. What are your... Go ahead and both roll me perception checks, Pole and Arlen.
Is this my next Charybdis opponent?
Okay, that's an 8 from Pole and an 18 from Arlen. Pole, I think you're just trying to swim and you're coming up to a very large shark. Not shark, sorry. It's not a shark, it's a crocodile. So you
Oh,
are-
actually talks to it like a crocodile too. So it's doing that kind of roaring thing that they do.
Oh yeah, with the yeah, cool. So with an 18 Arlen, it could easily be mistaken as like a very shiny red eye, but you hone in and see that it is multifaceted, and there's actually a gem where there should be an eyeball on that side. And Paul, you were speaking to it in Crocodile. What are you saying?
I'm just saying, hey there, what brings you to town today?
So it responds in the sort of like crocodile-y, snappy, snarling tones, and it says, "Something is wrong with the water. Something has taken the fish."
That's true. We've noticed that, and we're looking into it.
I am hungry.
All right. Well, I can get you something. Where's the nearest pub?
So, you would know that the the snapping line is the one that you have been invited to, number 13 on the map, is definitely the closest one.
All right. Well, just stay right here. Don't eat anybody or anybody's pets, and I'll bring something back from the inn.
Can you ask about its eye?
What about it? Oh,
Yeah, as soon as it's pointed out to you, you're like, "Oh, heck, that's not an eyeball."
sorry if this is a sensitive thing, but would you tell me what happened to your eye?
Got taken from me from another crocodile. I ate him in retaliation.
Suppose that's fair. Who put the gem in there?
I don't know what you're talking about. What is a gem?
What's kind of like a shiny rock? There's one right in your eye, right? You don't feel it?
The wizard fixed my eye.
Oh, a wizard? What
Is
wizard?
it one of those like weird rocks from the cave?
No.
Okay.
Those were distinctly purple and like glowing and, you know, necromancy and death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a magic eye, so you can still see, even though you don't have your original eye.
I see you and you look tasty.
Well, you ain't seen nothing yet. The way tastier things at the end. I'll be going right now.
I want to eat you. It says, as it doesn't like really pursue you.
Mhm.
You see the
Arlen's
eye kind of like
just
fixating
hanging
on
in the water,
Yeah.
not thinking it's gonna hurt her.
As Pole leaves, it begins to snap and snarl at you, Arlen. I don't think you don't understand it. Nope, you didn't hear anything that it told Pole. It's just snapping and snarling at you, and it's slowly beginning to swim circles around you, keeping its good eye on you, towards you. Finn and KayBee, you see Pole wading out of the water. It's slowly circling Arlen out in the water.
That looks like a problem. Finn, do we
Yeah.
need to go in and save her?
I would say be ready, be on guard for anything that happens. I feel like if there was any attack on Arlen be able to maybe avoid the first attack, we'd be able to come in and triple team it.
Arlen, be careful out there.
She just kind of waves her hand. That's not going to be a good idea, she tells the crocodile.
You just hear like a. I don't know. That's all I got for crocodile noises.
It's pretty good. Pretty
Thanks,
good.
thanks. All right, Pole, you make it to shore. You are waterlogged. What would you like to do?
Paul wants to go to the inn and get whatever they've got for dinner there and bring a whole bunch of it over
Okay.
for the croc.
You run over to the snapping line. As you come in, there are a few patrons kind of munching away on various things, and you see Hannah Wrist kind of startle a little bit as you come in. Oh, are you all right? Well, you are very, very wet. You are trailing water all over.
Oh, I'm fine. Don't worry. But quickly, I need to get a bunch of whatever you're having for dinner here, whatever your meat is, because there's a large kind of magical crocodile under the bridge, and it's gonna maybe eat people if we don't give it some food real quick. So, here I'll throw a bunch of gold coins on the counter, and just come on,
All right.
let's get some food.
Okay. Right. You see her like picking each individual piece up and kind of like tucks them away into a pocket of her dress. Right. I suppose you can come with me into the kitchen. I've got, and she kind of like looks at the various different barrels, and you see that there's meat hanging from hooks. We've got some salted pork and some.
I'll just take this one. I'll grab like a big carcass of pork or something.
Okay, roll me an athletics check, because this is chunky. And you do have a re-roll if you need it.
I will re-roll
You
it.
rolled a 4. Yes, roll again. 12. Okay, much better. So like you bring it down off the hook, and I think the initial weight of it just kind of almost makes you land on your butt, but you correct yourself and you begin to make your way out. Hannah's like, you know what? I would just leave it. Adventurer business. I will not ask too many questions. They are going to bring me some very good business just by being here. So you make your way out, and people are like, oh, as you're running through the street carrying this big raw piece of meat. What would you like to do?
Oh, I'm just running my way towards where I thought the croc was. And if anyone's in my way, I'm just kind of barreling through. Excuse me! Coming through!
Very good. Yeah, absolutely. People get out of the way. Arlen is still in the center of this ring, slow swimming. And you begin to wade out in the water. And the crocodile disengages from Arlen and begins to head towards you. What have you brought me?
It's a pig! And I'll kind of overhand throw the pig towards it.
Yeah, there's a big splash of water. You hear a big, like wave of people just reacting from above the bridge. So many people are watching this right now. A lot of the industry in the immediate area has come to a halt as like sailors and, you know, people who are loading the different ships and stuff are just kind of watching, looking over. You see the crocodile come up, and just a big, massive, just bites down on it and then begins to drag it underwater. And all you see is this murky, dark shape moving through the water as it goes deep, deep into the bay. Everyone's just kind of holding their breath and watching.
All right, well, that's that solved.
Now, Paul will speak up to the crowd that's amassed and say, "Well, now you've got a great guard for your bridge. You just got to bring another a pig in there, I guess, every once in a while. Keep it satisfied, but you'll not have to worry about anything else."
You see this little mousy boy with like a smattering of freckles over his face and this like kind of brown mop of hair. He says, "What's his name?"
What? It's a red gem in its eye?
Yeah.
Do you have a name? I'll ask the. Oh no, it's gone.
It's gone.
Underwater, yeah.
You can I think we just call her Ruby.
Ruby. Oh. Mum, we've got to feed old Ruby a pig. The mom just like starts dragging the kid away. And people slowly begin to wander off, bored because there's no giant crocodile in the water anymore. But Arlen and Pole, like as you had been out in the water, you again saw that there were no fish anywhere near in that area. It's completely devoid of sea life or sea creatures in that area. And everyone makes their way back onto shore. Arlen and Pole are both sopping wet.
Alright, so to the tavern.
Yeah. That was exhilarating.
There was.
And
It was fun to
Fano,
watch.
a wise man told me don't question leadership.
Yes.
All right. So the group of you are brought back into the snapping line. Hannah seems a bit, you're treading more water into, it's fine. Your rooms are ready if you'd like to head upstairs. Here are the keys. They are on the 3rd floor. You will have a private loft up there as well. There should be some fresh towels. There's an adjoining bath in the area. Please let me know if I can get you anything.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you. I'm pretty tired. It'd be good to hang up these wet clothes and get to bed.
Yes, I've stoked a fire after seeing you make your way into my kitchen and take out an entire pig. You are quite strong for one of such thin build.
Well, I think this just the moment took me away with it. I'm not really that strong, not compared to say KayBee here, but
Oh. Well,
do what we do.
if you ever want to do any work on the side, or if you have any spare moments, I can always use an extra set of hands. So just let me know. I have good shipments coming in.
Well, it sounds lovely. But I think I'll sleep on it. All right.
Of course, no rush. All right, enjoy your rest, everyone. Ta-ta.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so as the group of you make your way up, you find, again, it's very similar to the layout in the Wicker Goat. You will have your own private rooms, and then there is a community area that has a place where you can all sit and congregate, and then there is a bath on that level as well. So you do have a private bath if you want it. So you see that one of the bedrooms is bigger than all the others. It has a bed with these velvet purple duvet covers on it, and it has the really tall, very sturdy posts on it, and there's just this chiffon. It's very fancy. One room is a lot fancier than the others.
Well.
Arlen takes it.
Very good. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and say that Quick makes themselves comfortable in the community area there. Finn, this entire time, Bims has been accompanying you and just kind of hiding in your hair, hiding in your backpack. And as soon as you come into this quiet area, it slides away from you and it begins to explore. You see it just sort of blink out of existence, and you just hear this light scratching of nails as it moves around and a little fluttering of wings.
Get comfortable, buddy. We're gonna be here for a little bit at least.
Okay. So as everyone kind of separates and does their own thing, what would you like to do, KayBee?
So KayBee throws all of his stuff on the floor in his room. He shakes out his backpack, and what you see come out of his backpack are the legs and neck and head of this deer he had pieced together previously. He clomps it all together, clunk, 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 and he taps it on the nose with a boop, and its eyes light up. The owl takes a roost on this deer's head, this mechanical deer's head, and the deer starts to clomp around the room as KayBee just leaps up and spread eagle on the bed and just lays out. The deer is patrolling the room as KayBee goes into a deep snore.
I love it. You have an alarm deer. Fantastic. Do you close your door? Do you lock your door?
I leave the door open.
Okay.
The deer can go into the commons and back into the room.
Okay. So everyone does occasionally get the glimpse of this mechanical deer.
Ridden by a tiny owl.
My friend is sitting on it. Okay. Yeah. So Pole, what would you like to do?
Well, Pole, I think Pole is just really tired and wants to go to sleep. He's gonna take off the wet clothes, use the towel to dry off, and then head into bed. He'll just take a small room, is fine with him.
Okay. As you go into one of the rooms, like I will say that like you all kind of just scope out the rooms a little bit. One particular room has a bundle and it has your name on it. There's a small sheet of paper, a little card, and it has a very fine flowery script on it that says Pole. And you find in this bundle is a set of fresh clothes. There are some boots that seem to have been eyeballed to fit you. And the room is quite cozy. You can see that there is a dresser, there's a small desk, a little basin of water. There's a window that looks over the market below, and a nice fluffy bed.
All right. Well, he will go. He will not worry too much about the clothes just yet, but he's happy to have something that's not wet pirate clothes.
Wet, stinky pirate clothes.
And yeah, he's just gonna go to bed, and he's gonna probably have nice dreams about Penny, and then wake up and she's not gonna be there, and he's gonna be very sad. But he's so tired that he goes to sleep anyways, very readily.
Oh. Finn, you find a very similar room to Pole's. You don't, unfortunately, have a welcoming bundle or anything.
It's fine. I think Finn is feeling very tired. He's sort of like looking around, and I guess he'll I don't know if he has anything that he could make in his pack that like, or set up maybe his backpack or something more comfortable. Maybe take one of the extra pillows, fluff it up, put it on the floor or something, just so his little buddy can have something nice to lay on, get comfortable on. And as he does that, he's tired, but he told himself the next time he got to be in a room by himself, he wanted to check out the things that he has gotten throughout the adventure. Okay. So the two things I remember getting are the red necklace and the ring. And he wants to sort of explore and figure out what they are.
Okay. So as you kind of spend some time investigating them, attuning to them, you do find that you find out that the amulet is a necklace of fireballs. And the ring, I can't remember what the ring is.
There was something about some kind of like advantage to something.
The haunted VHS tape.
Ring of protection.
Ring of protection. Okay, that is a good item. That one I think is just a +1 to your AC. Let me look it up real quick.
And saving throws, I think. Which makes it real nice.
Okay, yeah, so you look at this ring and you can tell that it has some protective properties, that it will magically imbue you with this power to be more protected.
And he'll put it on.
Okay, very good.
And then with the necklace, can I guess, investigate the necklace to know if it's good enough to put on my neck? Like if it's rings of, will it burn me? Like
it won't burn you, but the necklace of fireballs is definitely a very dangerous item. Necklace of fireballs, let's see. So the way that it works is that it has a number of beads on it. As an action, you pull a bead off and then you throw it. And then when it reaches the end of its trajectory, when it hits something, it detonates as a 3rd level fireball. You can throw multiple beads or even the whole necklace, and it'll make the fireball
I have
even
fire
bigger.
grenades?
You do.
Okay, cool.
It
All right.
is very, very gaudy.
The way that I imagined it, I thought it was just like a red necklace that looked all fiery and such. I didn't know it was an actual like project. Okay.
No, so the way it looks is it looks very, very fancy, right? So it has a number of different beads and stuff. It has kind of like a lacy base. and it has these beads hanging down off of it. So it is very gaudy. It sticks out.
Okay. Then yeah, he'll keep that. Yeah, he'll keep that in his pocket then. He'll keep that.
Did I tell you how many charges it has?
No.
Okay. So we'll say that it has 5. Wow. Okay. 5 beads on it.
5 beads. Okay.
Yeah. So write that
And
down
then-
somewhere.
I will. Okay. 5 beads. Okay, and then once he's figured out everything, he'll do his sort of normal night stuff. He'll sort of get ready, and he'll open up the locket, knowing that nobody's around to really see anything, and sort of talk to it again and be like, "I miss you. I almost. It's been a long adventure since we've last been able to talk and I've been able to get a peace, but I love you and I know that you're with me." And he'll sort of look over at the rock and he'll go, "Your magic is still with me in some form." And he'll give it a kiss and kind of close it up and
Wait, you kissed
pull
the
it
rock?
no, kiss the
I know, I'm kidding. I'm being a
okay.
dork.
Okay, that's fine. I'll kiss the rock too. I don't want it to feel left out.
Oh, it's too much to rock.
And then I'll set the is there like a table stand?
Yeah, there's
in
like
the-
a nightstand.
Well, like okay, so then he'll just set it on the nightstand since he knows that there's like a nightstand there or something.
Okay.
Like that.
Yeah, so as you're going to sleep, you're kind of getting drowsy, your eyes are starting to close. You feel the small claws of Bims as they climb up on the bed and onto your body, and it begins to like crawl up your body and sits on your chest and just kind of curls up with your neck. And for a second, it lifts up its head and it locks eyes with you, and you're sleepy, it's sleepy as the Pseudo Dragon sits there. You look deep into its eyes. You have drawn the Vizier card.
Ooh.
Ask one question, get one answer.
Oh man, what does Finn want to ask? Oh man, why am I never prepared for these?
I'll give you. A
How was
minute
your
to think.
question?
Yeah.
Why are you never prepared?
Hey, why am I never prepared?
The Pseudo Dragon goes.
no.
"Rah, rah, rah."
Yeah. Yeah, give me a minute on this.
Okay. Very good. Arlen, you have the master bedroom. It is massive. It is comfortable. What do we see as you're kind of settling down?
She walks inside, closes and locks the door, placing her bags down, but of course keeping Charybdis close. She lays down in the bed and puts Charybdis on her stomach. Well, impressed yet?
You hear this chorus of disembodied voices just kind of whisper into existence, kind of emanating from nowhere and just honing in on the edges of your perception. It's kind of oppressive a little bit as it blankets down on you, and you feel Charybdis on your chest beginning to shake and thrum with power in your grip. It says in many, many low voices, "Yes, I like what I see. You are proving to be a worthy student."
I'm getting a bit bored. When is this other student of yours going to get here? You keep saying soon, but it's been a while now.
You know, there have been a number of complications on the road. There are forces moving beyond my perception. Forces at work that are proving to be a nuisance, working against me.
And what are those?
I don't know who it is, but they are coming. And I suspect that they will show their hand in Saltmarsh very soon. But it is important that we keep you, my dutiful pupil, entertained and sharp, you will need to be ready. I will give you a test right now.
All right. And I stand up.
As you stand up, what are you wearing? You did lay down in bed.
I did. I took off my bag, and I was speaking to Charybdis, so I don't imagine she wasn't laying down to like sleep. She was just laying down to talk. So I imagine she still has her equipment on her.
Okay. So as you stand up, you feel the blade beginning to shake violently in your hand. It's almost to the point where you feel your bones clattering and it is tremoring your entire body. And through the coral hilt, where your fingers are wrapped around it, you see whispers of smoke. This dark, inky, incorporeal shape beginning to slide out from between your fingers, and it begins to flood the room. You see darkness beginning to build. How do you react?
Is this like the time I had that shadow creature attack me as a test?
Yes. Similar. Not exactly the same.
Is it more like the darkness is spreading throughout the room, or is it like in a singular form?
No,
Oh,
it's spilling out from you and it's filling up the room. It's kind of
Okay,
hard to tell
well-
if it's seeping under the door frame, but it is building. So like it's
Okay.
about like ankles coming up to your calves. You get the sense it's gonna flood the entire room.
Okay, well, I have Charybdis drawn, and I use Vigilant Blessing on myself to prepare.
So what
Uh,
does this look like as you do all of this?
Yeah, so I'm holding Charybdis in one hand, and then I kind of raise up my two fingers and place them on my chest, and just a small light pulses from my fingers, giving me advantage on my next initiative check.
Okay. It begins to build, and it begins to move up past your knees, your thighs. It's rising up towards your chest. What kind of pose are you in? And as it kind of builds, you feel the pressure. Like it almost feels as if the darkness is squeezing your legs and your body.
I'm gonna cut at it.
Okay, so you swing at the darkness, and it seems that the movement agitates it, and it kind of billows up, and it washes over you. And what we see, as the camera kind of zooms away from Arlen, the smoke begins to recede, and Arlen's not there anymore. The room is empty. You have drawn the Void card.
Ooh,
You have been dangerously separated from the party.
great. Perfect.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. All right. Finn, do you have your question?
Right at the end of that, I figured out what my question was.
Okay. What's your
So-
question?
Because I was looking back through things. I'm like, what do I want to ask? And then it hit me. I want to ask, do we... I guess this would be too quiet. I'd be double. Let's see, I'd ask this as one question. What are... The wizard that had imprisoned both me and Pol, what was their intention with the item that they stole from us?
As you kind of look into the eyes of Bims and you kind of wonder over this, Bims obviously doesn't have the answer for you.
Mhm.
Creature wasn't there, doesn't know, but you're just kind of
No.
reflecting, right? You're asking yourself this question.
Yeah.
And you think on it. This is a very powerful wizard, and from what you've heard of Kaladek here in Saltmarsh, he keeps to himself. He's very powerful. He is the town wizard. He is where they come for arcane advice and magical devices and all of that sort of stuff. So it makes sense that he has his hands in quite a few different circles. You kind of think back to the moment you were imprisoned, leading up to that moment. And you get the sense that Kelladek is an opportunist. He took those from you because he knew that they were necromantic magic.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps he doesn't intend to use them, but he perhaps wants to give them away to somebody. You think Kelladek might have something to do with smugglers in the area.
No, just as I thought. Good night, buddy.
He just kind of like curls up into your hair, and you can feel him like breathing, kind of swelling up against you, kind of like a heartbeat as he begins to slowly go to sleep.
Yeah, as Finn feels this, if he feels a breath on him, like he used to be able to feel, and it gives him that much little bit more comfort that he can finally feel something breathing on him again.
Very good. KayBee, what are the conditions of your mechanical deer? What exactly does it look for?
I don't think it has any particular instruction other than it can defend itself. So notionally, if it was to perceive an enemy, it may defend itself. But our good friend, the tiny little owl named Friend, is also present.
Hmm? Okay.
And I let the deer Poke. I let Poke just wander the area.
Okay. I think Friend is smart enough to know if something is weird, because it is not literally an owl. It is a fae, right?
Fae familiar.
Fae familiar. Yeah. So you get this telepathic ping as you were sleeping, KayBee.
And not right now. I'm trying to sleep.
Just hear, whoo, whoo.
Oh, come on. Really?
I got my eyes closed. and I focus and I go out of body and I look through my owl's eyes.
Okay. You see the deer kind of stopped in the common area, and in front of it, Quick is just kind of like eyeballing it and just kind of poking it, trying to figure out what this thing is. And beyond Quick, Friend is looking at the darkness seeping out of Arlen's room through the door frame.
Really?
Don't interrupt my test again.
I'm sure it's going to be okay. Man, I don't know. I can't wait until I get another wish. We'll make this better. Don't worry about it. Friend, never mind.
Okay. Friend will just kind of relax and nothing happens. Okay, great. All right. So we see the screen fade to black. As we do, we see which one's the one without rain? This one? Okay. We see the scene kind of fade into view, and it is deep, deep underwater. We see this murky sort of green-black color as some large shape is slowly slithering through, and it begins to rise. And as it does, we see this red eye just sort of open up and look at the rocky shoreline. Standing there is Kelladek. You see this very formidable looking person. This music is not it. Here, we see this very formidable, I think he's like 8, almost 9 feet tall. This humanoid, not entirely human, something very supernatural about him. He has this great red wrap around his head that comes down, and it serves almost as a bit of a half cloak. And he's waiting patiently as we see this large crocodile just step out onto the shore, and it looks up at Kelidek. And Kelidek reaches out and says, "What have you seen?" And in the reflection of this gem eye, we see this different image of Pole and Arlen in the water. Kelidek says, "I recognize that one. I have been looking for them." You have drawn the rogue card. Arlen, Crocodile and Kelidek are not happy about you. There were some certain things taken from the Wizard Tower after 2 of your friends have been imprisoned.
That sounds like a him problem.
Yeah. It's absolutely a him problem because the camera snaps back into your room. There's nothing in there. We see a bed with a soft imprint of Arlen's body where she had been laying down with her armor on. She had stood up. The smoke came. The smoke is gone. Arlen is not there. Charybdis is not there. The door is locked. We hear a slight shuffling of mechanical noises as the deer comes to a stop by the locked door. The hoo-hoo, a friend. But the door isn't tried, and it remains closed. And when morning comes, someone knocks on Arlen's door, but there's no response. And that is where we're going to end our session for tonight. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed today's episode. We will be back here in about 2 weeks. And hopefully our dear friend GodfatherWraith will be feeling better. We're going to go around and tell you who we are, where you can find us, and we will start with Emma, who is now dangerously separated from the party.
Hi, I'm Emma, also known as Emma Panada. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at Emma Panada. On Twitch, I run various TTRPG games, and on Twitter, I shitpost. So feel free to follow me if you're interested in either of those. Are we doing favorite part of the session?
Yes, please.
I got us a ship.
Yeah. Okay, actually, we should wait till Garen gets here before we try to name the ship.
Yeah.
We'll give it
for
2
sure.
weeks. We'll workshop it.
We'll workshop it. It'll be fun.
Yeah. We have a boat. Very cool. And it's a big boat, too. There's definitely enough rooms for each one of you to, claim your own room. Customize it. Oh, God. KayBee's gonna build shit onto it. Oh, no. Okay, it'll be interesting. Cool. Awesome. Next, we have GeekDice.
Hey, folks, I'm GeekDice. You can find me here every given Wednesday on alternate Wednesdays when we're not playing Secrets of Saltmarsh. We have a Witchlight campaign going. That's a lot of fun. Different kind of game. A lot of hype there. And having a lot of fun with this game. Really enjoying D&D in this community. For anybody who's new, we have a lot of raids came in today. Definitely hit us on Discord. Join the community. We have community games going, got marathons, all kinds of fun stuff. Looking forward to playing D&D with everybody. D&D is good for you. D&D is good for me. Let's play some D&D. So my favorite part tonight is KayBee was knighted by his mentor and savior, Lady Arlen. We're looking forward to what comes from that. That's just the start. Thank you.
Excellent. Yeah, we are always looking for new people to come play with us. Doesn't matter if you have any experience whatsoever. We do also play different kinds of TTRPG systems. We are not D&D 5th edition exclusive. So if you want to find some people to play some games with, if you want to come on to one of our streams here, just hop into the Discord. The link is there in the chat. We'll make sure that you get to hang out and throw some dice. Everyone needs more dice to throw with. All right, next we have Endy.
Hi, I'm John. I'm Indicarus on the internet, and I play pool. If you're interested in trying some different little games that I made up or modified from other games, check out my itch site. Download some stuff there. Play games that I made. My favorite part of today was it was a combination of two different things that happened at different times, and one was the ending where Arlen disappeared. But the part that leads up to that makes it amazing is when KayBee and Finn had the conversation of who is going to be the leader if Arlen's gone, and it was sort of decided that Finn would be. So we'll see how that goes.
Yes, that's going to be very interesting. I'm very pleased with how today's episode played out.
So I should have a backup character ready for next session, right?
I think you'll be fine, you know, because, like, undead characters are an option, right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Dang.
That's just like the next level of Charybdis, right?
Yeah, like, I'm sure it'll be fine. Awesome. Thank you so much. Next, we have Zombie.
Hello, I am Jacob. I am Zombie. I am Z. I am whatever the three you'd like to call me. I am the lore keeper, clip master. Probably do too many clips, but it's your own discretion. Yeah. With Arlen gone now, I guess that whole like discussion was, you know, we got a thing now with that now. Favorite part of this session, I got my new little buddy with me now. I like my buddy. I like my friend Bivs.
Bims.
Bims. I like my little buddy. I did like the whole in the whole interaction with the crocodile as well. I thought that was really, really fun. And then yeah, I'm interested to see how much further this whole relationship is going to be with I'm blanking on her name now, the one that gave us the snapping lion.
Hannah Rist.
I'm gonna be interested to see how much of this I don't know if relationship is the right word, but this like kinship is gonna last. Because I wonder if it's gonna be like, oh, you guys done so many good things for me, and I'm kind of wondering how this is all gonna play out once she sort of gets what she wants, if it leads that way. So, yeah,
you definitely. I mean, those who are paying attention definitely get the sense that Hannah has always been an opportunist from the moment you met her. Of course, she wants to have you close. Of
course. And then Twitter, ZombieFighter89, Twitch, I might do some stuff. I don't know. Every Monday, I do stuff with Heights of Nerdvana. We talk about all kinds of nerdy news. Every other Wednesday, I also join GeekDice along with my co-host on Nerds of Nirvana, Matthew, as we play my brain. The other Patreon game we have, Wild and Beyond the Witchlight. There we go.
Nailed it.
Witchlight. Nailed it. And then hopefully, if things go right, I'm going to test some things in the next week or two. Hopefully, I'll have something else to add to this profile of stuff that I talk about.
Yay. Awesome. Thank you. I'm still Luna. GodfatherWraith hopefully will be here next time with us. So we'll be back here in 2 weeks. Tomorrow, I go to PAX Unplugged. I'm going to be there for the next 5 days. So if you're going to PAX, stop by, say hi to me. Let's hang out. I'll probably run a game in person. So just let me know if that's something that interests you. Yeah, thank you so much for being here. So the next stream that you're going to get from me is the other Witchlight game. So I'll be back here next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for all the raids, all the follows, all of the draws from the Deck of Many Things. You all help us write this story, and you make it really, really interesting and spicy. Thank you so much. We are going to go on a raid here. We're going to go raid over to Rule of Lore, Thunder and Blood. Our friend Drac is over there right now, playing a really hot character, so let's go say hi. Okay, good night, everyone. Have a good one.